Douluo, the celestial pillar that shoots at the sun. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26, Road Robbery. Sure enough, 5 people came to the 2 of them soon. Judging from the attire of these 5 people, they should all be soul masters, including 4 men and 1 woman. The leading man was older, estimated to be in his 50s, the other 3 men were in their early 40s, and the woman was in her early 30s, looking younger than the others. The older man was thinner, but also looked very tough, with a shrewd look in his eyes. The 3 middle-aged men were dressed a bit similarly. One of them was very tall, more than 2 meters tall, and the other 2 looked ordinary, but also had exposed muscles, showing their impressive strength. The last woman was dressed more revealingly, looking more coquettish, both in figure and appearance. She was very good, no worse than those stars in the previous life. Yang Podi couldn't help but complain in his heart, I came to the Soul Beast Forest with my grandfather for the first time, and I actually encountered robbers? The 5 people seemed to be surrounding Yang Wudi. The old man who looked back spoke, Hey brother, we 5 are from the Blood Mantis mercenary group. I wonder what soul beast you 2 are going to hunt in the Sunset Forest? If you need it, the 5 of us can help you. Yang Wudi didn't seem to even look at them. No, we can do it ourselves. Hey brother, the 5 of us are just here to make money. If you hand over all your money, we promise to help you hunt a satisfactory soul beast. Among the 5 of us, there is 1 soul king and 4 soul lords. Hunting soul beasts is still easy. After saying that, the 5 of them showed their martial spirits and soul rings. As expected, there was 1 soul king and 4 soul lords. The martial spirit of the old man was actually a mantis. The martial spirits of the 3 middle-aged men were a bear, a mouse and a scimitar, and the only woman's martial spirit was a snake. However, only the old man had 2 yellow and 3 purple soul rings. The other 4 had 1 white, 1 yellow and 2 purple soul rings. Yang Wudi sneered directly, I've already said that it's not necessary. If you want to make money, go find someone else, don't come to me. The old man didn't seem surprised at all, but continued, now it's not a question of whether you want it or not, but we must make this deal. Oh, according to what you said, you want to force the sale now. That's not the case. I guess you should be strong, but now you have to take care of a child. I'm afraid you are not a match for the 5 of us. Yang Wudi didn't seem to pay attention to the threats of the 5 people on the opposite side, but turned his head to Yang Podi and said, Podi, I will teach you a truth now, watch carefully. As soon as Yang Wudi finished speaking, a soul-breaking gun appeared in his hand, and 2 yellow, 2 purple and 3 black soul rings on his body appeared, and then he stabbed the old man in the lead with a gun. Seeing Yang Wudi's soul rings, the opposite side was a little stunned. But at this moment, the soul-breaking spear had already reached the old man on the opposite side. The purple soul ring on the old man's body lit up, and he quickly used his 5th soul skill, and a pair of huge mantis legs cut toward Yang Wudi's attack like a sickle. The old man's attack was like a virtual thing, and the whole mantis was directly pierced by the soul-breaking spear, and even the old man's body was pierced. Seeing this, the other 4 people knew that they had encountered a tough guy today, and wanted to turn around and leave. Yang Wudi's soul-breaking spear directly pointed, stabbed one of the middle-aged men, and then swung the soul-breaking spear quickly, knocking one of the middle-aged men away. Seeing this, the remaining 2 people were so scared that their livers and gallbladders broke, and they ran away quickly. But how could Yang Wudi let them get away? He flew directly and quickly chased after one of the middle-aged men. The soul-breaking spear ignored the man's soul skill and pierced the body of another middle-aged man, and the last woman had already run away dozens of meters. Yang Wudi took the soul-breaking spear and shot it out like a javelin. The soul-breaking spear was as fast as lightning and nailed the last woman to the ground. In that instant, the 5 people on the opposite side were wiped out by Yang Wudi, and they couldn't even run away. Yang Podi watched his grandfather kill 5 people in a row like flowing water. The other side didn't even have the ability to resist, and his grandfather didn't even use his soul skills. The death of the 5 people on the opposite side seemed extremely miserable. 3 of them were directly pierced through the body by the soul-breaking spear, and the other middle-aged man was detonated. The only middle-aged man who was not killed on the spot was also directly hit by the gun body and lay on the ground dying. Obviously, He was not going to survive. Yang Wudi didn't care so much, but walked up and shot him directly, killing him quickly. At this time, all 5 people on the opposite side were killed, and their deaths were extremely miserable. There was blood everywhere, and there were even some broken internal organs on the ground. This was the first time Yang Podi had seen a murder in his previous life, and the first time he had seen such a bloody scene. He couldn't help but want to vomit. Yang Wudi ignored the expression on his grandson's face and said, "Podi, check the bodies of the 5 people and take back all the valuables from them." Seeing this, Yang Podi resisted the urge to vomit and began to walk towards the bodies of the 5 people. The first one he went to was the body of the elderly man in the lead. He saw that the body was pierced by the soul-breaking spear. There was a huge wound on his chest. The wound was still bleeding, and even the whole body was stained red with blood. After groping in the blood for a while, he finally found a soul guide. Then he continued to search the other 4 people. It took a long time to search all 5 people. When he returned to Yang Wudi after the search, his body was covered with blood. Yang Podi couldn't help but vomit, as if he wanted to vomit out everything he had eaten in the past few days. Yang Wudi ignored this situation, but took out a large bag of water and a new set of clothes from his soul guide. "Wash the blood off your body and change into a new set of clothes. We are leaving here soon." Seeing this, Yang Podi resisted the trembling of his hands, took the water from his grandfather's hand, washed his body carefully and changed into a new set of clothes. After changing and washing, Yang Wudi took his grandson's hand and left quickly, as if everything was normal. Yang Podi felt that since meeting these 5 enemies, his grandfather seemed to have changed. He was no longer kind-hearted as before, but instead became very solemn. Even his attitude towards his grandson had changed greatly. It seemed that he was not facing his grandson, but a stranger. About half an hour later, the 2 came to a new open space again, and Yang Wudi set up the tent again. The 2 sat together again. At this time, Yang Wudi suddenly said, "Podi, tell me, from what happened just now to now, what questions do you have? What else can you discover?" Obviously, Yang Wudi wanted to use this to educate his grandson. Chapter 27, £1,000 Ent. Facing Yang Wudi's question, Yang Podi thought for a moment before speaking. "Grandpa, the 2 of us entered the sunset forest without any baggage. It is obvious that the enemy is sure that Grandpa has a soul guide. Soul guides are generally valuable, at least a certain amount of family property. Grandpa brought the 2 of us into the soul hunting forest. They knew that Grandpa might have a certain strength. Just now, they did not intend to besiege Grandpa at first, and the real target should be me. They wanted to use me to make Grandpa cautious. Grandpa killed them all just now, probably to prevent them from going out to inform or something like that. Also, Grandpa asked me to search them just now, probably because he wanted me to see blood and understand the cruelty of the Soul Master world." Hearing this, Yang Wudi nodded. "Not bad, Podi, you can understand so much in a short time. It's really good. Why did I kill 5 people in a row just now? It's not because I was afraid that you would go to inform, but I wanted to tell you a truth. In the Soul Master world, if you take action, you must cut the grass and root it out, otherwise there will be endless troubles." There is another point. Did you pay attention to my attack just now? I attacked 5 people in a row just now, and killed them before they could attack you. Our soul-breaking spear often emphasizes flexibility and quick resolution of battles. If you want to develop in a pure power way, how should you deal with this situation just now? And the most important point is that our Po Yi clan is a fighting family. Everyone is a natural warrior and will not be threatened by anything. If you are really caught by them, my soul-breaking spear will only be more powerful without any scruples. This is also the root of the power of our Po Yi clan and soul-breaking spear. Yang Podi couldn't help swallowing his saliva after hearing this. It seems that he really lives in a comfortable environment, forgetting the roots of his family and the cruelty of the world. Podi, think about what I said just now. Tell me if you think of anything. Then, both of them fell into silence. Yang Podi was thinking carefully about what his grandfather had just said. In the original novel, there were only more than 100 direct disciples of the Po Yi clan left, but even so, they did not stop fighting against the Wuhan Hall. It was because of this fearless and indomitable spirit that his grandfather could fight against a titled Douluo with the strength of Soul Douluo. Thinking of this, Yang Podi couldn't help but think, if I can do it like my grandfather in the future? Can I have the strength of my grandfather? The soul-breaking spear technique was developed by the Yang family for generations. Is it really feasible for me to go the pure power route? After thinking about it all night, Yang Podi couldn't fall asleep all the time, and finally didn't know how he fell asleep. The next morning, Yang Podi opened his eyes slowly, and what came into his eyes was the big face of his grandfather, and it seemed that he was looking at him carefully, and he was immediately shocked. Yang Wudi was speechless for a moment. Was he so scary? Even his grandson was scared. However, Yang Wudi had regained his previous kind appearance at this time. Podi, I told you so much yesterday, but it was actually a little early for you, but you should also feel it well, Grandpa. I thought about it carefully last night. And I am still determined to take the route of pure strength, no matter how hard this route is. Okay, Podi, Grandpa believes that you will succeed. But I will teach you another truth first. In the soul-hunting forest, you can't fall asleep at any time, and you must stay alert at all times. Okay, Grandpa, I understand. Although Yang Podi said it clearly, he couldn't help complaining in his heart. He was only 6 years old, and he had to rely on himself to be alert when he followed his peak soul saint grandfather. It was too pitiful. After eating some breakfast, the two continued to set off and search for soul beasts in the sunset forest. It seemed that they were lucky today and soon found a good soul beast. There was a nest in the distance, which was obviously the nest of a Haotian ant. There were countless Haotian ants walking around the nest, and one of them looked very large, more than 7.5 inches long, and even close to 8 inches long. In any soul beast forest, Haotian ants are a very common soul beast, and there are a lot of them, but they are mainly 10-year soul beasts, and there are relatively few that break through 100 years. Haotian ants are a soul beast with very tenacious vitality, outstanding physical defense ability, strong resistance to blows, and extremely great strength, with strength far beyond a body proportion. Because of this, Haotian ants are also the favorite of all power-type soul masters, and the increase in strength is very exaggerated. Generally speaking, the body of a Haotian ant with 10 years of cultivation is about 3 inches, and there is only a pair of saber teeth in the mouth that can bite off hard objects. The body length of a Haotian ant with 100 years of cultivation will not exceed 6 inches. Only when it reaches 1,000 years of cultivation, it is possible to grow to 1 foot. Haotian ants that exceed 1,000 years are almost very rare and extremely difficult to find. The largest Haotian ant I have heard of now is only about 1 meter long and has a cultivation of more than 30,000 years. Some time ago, Titan, the patriarch of the power clan, broke through to Douluo, and the patriarchs of the 4 families with a single surname went together to hunt for soul rings. According to Yang Wudi's description, the defense of the 30,000-year-old Haotian ant was very strong. Even he had to work hard to break through its defense. Its strength was even more exaggerated, no worse than that of an ordinary soul beast of 70,000 or 80,000 years. If Yang Wudi did not take action, I am afraid that even Titan might not be able to defeat the 30,000-year-old Haotian ant. Podi, that big Haotian ant is estimated to be more than 500 years old, close to 600 years old. What do you think, Grandpa? Are there no other better soul beasts? The Haotian ant always feels a little weak. How about we look for some dragon soul beasts? Yang Podi couldn't help complaining in his heart. He was a traverser, but he actually used an ant as his first soul ring. He always felt that the grade was too low. Podi, you don't understand this. For a power-type soul master, the Haotian ant is a top-notch product. The 8th soul ring of Old Titan has a soul skill effect that even I envy. More importantly, his physical strength has also improved a lot. After thinking for a moment, Yang Podi spoke. Grandpa, this is the Haotian ant. Please help me catch it. Yang Wudi nodded after hearing this. Then he quickly rushed towards the Haotian ant colony. The Po Hun Gun shook the gun body, and all the small Haotian ants next to it flew away. Then he stabbed the big Haotian ant with a gun. With just one stab, a large wound appeared on the Haotian ant's body, and blood flowed. Before the other Haotian ants could react, he grabbed the Haotian ant and left quickly. With Yang Wudi's strength as a peak soul saint, it was easy to deal with a mere 100-year soul beast. After Yang Wudi came back, he did not stay, but took Yang Podi's hand and left quickly. This place is too close to the nest of the 1,000 Jun ants. If you want to absorb the soul ring, you should go farther away to prevent any accidents. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28, First Soul Ring. After Yang Wudi found an open space, he put down the 1,000 army ants and Yang Podi, with a worried look on his face. Podi, you have to hunt for spirit rings yourself, and you come to kill this 1,000 army ant now. Podi, you have to think it over. The age of this 1,000 army ant is much higher than the normal age of spirit ring absorption. The risk factor will be very high, and the absorption process will be very painful. Grandpa, you should have tested my physical strength. I will definitely succeed. Looking at the injured 1,000 army ant in front of him, Yang Podi summoned his martial soul, the soul-breaking spear, and stabbed directly into the eyes of the 1,000 army ant, piercing the eyes of the 1,000 army ant. The 1,000 army ant immediately bled and died. Then a yellow spirit ring appeared above the body of the 1,000 army ant. Yang Podi looked at the spirit ring and sat cross-legged on the ground. He took a deep breath, adjusted his mental state to the best, and began to absorb the spirit ring. According to the soul ring absorption method, Yang Podi raised his right hand, and all the soul power gathered in the palm of his hand. With a sharp light, a black soul-breaking gun appeared in his hand. At the same time, Yang Podi's whole body seemed to react a little, as if he also had a desire for this soul ring. Obviously, the soul ring of Kyanjan Ant was very suitable for his martial soul. But Yang Podi didn't pay much attention to it. Under the guidance of soul power, the soul ring of Kyanjan Ant slowly flew towards him. At this time, as the soul ring of Kyanjan Ant approached, he felt an unprecedentedly strong pressure, and even the bones of his whole body made a slight sound under this pressure. Especially after the soul ring approached the top of his head, a huge force poured into his body from the soul ring. This force seemed to exceed Yang Podi's own limit. After entering the body, it began to run rampant, and both the meridians and blood vessels felt like they were about to burst. At the critical moment, Yang Podi's own martial soul began to play a role, and began to gradually absorb this power, and his body gradually calmed down. Without giving him any chance to react, the yellow halo suddenly shrank and turned into a bracelet-sized, yet extremely solid soul ring that directly landed on the soul-breaking spear martial soul in the palm of his right hand. Yang Podi felt as if his right hand was invading magma. A stream of hot energy rushed in crazily, and a violent heat flow instantly rushed into his body. In an instant, his internal organs were burning. His body could not help but tremble violently. At this moment, Yang Podi used all his strength, gathered his mind, and began to use meditation to guide the energy that flowed into his body to flow throughout his body. Under the effect of this force, the soul-breaking spear in his hand seemed to have experienced countless knocks. The gun body gradually became deeper and darker, like a piece of ordinary iron that had been tempered by thousands of hammers. At this time, Yang Podi could also see more clearly the direction of the flow of soul power in his body, see the internal structure of his body, and see in his mind, like a giant holding a soul-breaking spear in a sea of fire. The giant was strong, and the soul-breaking spear stood proudly in the sea of fire, unyielding. After an unknown amount of time, the powerful energy in his body gradually merged with his body, and his whole body became warm and comfortable. His meridian seemed to have widened a lot, and the flow of soul power became faster. His body seemed to have broken through the bottleneck. It's done. The first soul ring has finally been absorbed successfully. When Yang Podi slowly opened his eyes, he felt that his body was extremely smooth, and the power and strength of his whole body had greatly increased. He seemed to be full of power, and his body was much stronger than before. He even grew taller. Yang Wudi, who was standing aside, watched Yang Podi successfully absorb the first soul ring, and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. After all, this was a soul ring of nearly 600 years, which was the highest record of the first soul ring in the soul world, and it was also a breakthrough in history. Grandpa, I succeeded. I absorbed my first soul ring successfully. Yang Wudi was also very pleased. Podi, you are really good. You actually absorbed it successfully. You are worthy of being my grandson. Yang Wudi, Podi, let me help check if there is any problem with your body, any hidden injuries or something like that. Grandpa, I feel that I am in very good health now. There is absolutely no problem, but Yang Wudi ignored Yang Podi's objection, carefully checked his body, and finally spoke. Yes, there is indeed no problem with the body, and it seems to have become stronger. How about it? Podi, the soul ring of the 1,000 Jun Ant is good, right? Podi, what is the soul skill of your first soul ring? How is the effect? Grandpa, The soul skill of my first soul ring is called 1000 Jun Power, and the effect is very good. When using the first soul skill, the body strength increases by 50%, and the power of the soul-breaking spear increases by 100%, and it lasts for 10 minutes. And my current soul power is already level 12. Hearing this, Yang Wudi swallowed his saliva and said, Podi, your first soul skill is really good. I'm afraid it's comparable to the 1000-year soul skills of the Power Clan. Moreover, I rarely hear of weapon spirits that can increase physical strength. Usually, this effect can only be achieved after the 7th soul skill. Hearing his grandfather's words, Yang Podi couldn't help but smile. After becoming a soul saint, a soul master and a weapon spirit can perfectly match, especially the mental power. But he has 2 spirits, and the second spirit is the body spirit. The fit between the spirits will be better, so the body can also be amplified. Just like before becoming a soul saint, many people can only see their weapon spirits through introspection, but he can see the body holding the weapon spirit. This is the spiritual connection between the weapon spirit and the body. Especially for power-type soul beasts, and power-type soul beasts that have exceeded their age, not only the weapon spirit has been improved, but even the body spirit has been slightly enhanced, which can be called perfect. At this time, Yang Podi felt that the weight of the soul-breaking spear had increased a lot, and his own strength had also increased a lot. He could perfectly adapt to the weight change of the soul-breaking spear martial soul, and even his mental strength had increased a lot. Is this the advantage of a full-body martial soul? Thinking of this, Yang Podi was confident in his decision to choose a power-type soul ring. Especially after absorbing soul rings of higher levels, he was more confident that he could absorb each soul ring of higher levels in the future. I remember that in Douluo Dubusi was a full-body martial soul, and his 7th soul ring was a 100,000-year soul ring, which was extremely powerful. I also have to work hard to train myself and strive for my 7th soul ring to absorb a 100,000-year soul ring. At this time, Yang Wudi had already sorted out the corpse of the Kyanjanent and did not find any soul bones. Just as the two were about to leave, Yang Podi seemed to have thought of something. Grandpa, I think there seem to be a lot of medicinal herbs in this tribal forest. Why don't we look around? Maybe we can get something. Chapter 29, Searching for the Sunset Forest. Hearing this, Yang Wudi was a little surprised. Podi, how did you think of looking for medicinal herbs in the Sunset Forest? Yes, there are indeed more medicinal herbs in the Sunset Forest, and there are even some rare medicinal herbs. However, the Sunset Forest is too dangerous. The medicinal herbs found are not symmetrical to the degree of danger. What's more, it is a waste of talent for me, a peak soul sage, to come here to collect herbs. Grandpa, let's give it a try. Let's just regard it as our experience in the Sunset Forest, see more soul beasts, and prepare for me to get soul rings next time. Hearing this, Yang Wudi couldn't help laughing. Podi, you have just obtained your first soul ring now, and the second soul ring will not be so fast. In the end, Yang Wudi agreed to his grandson's request, and the two spent a few days in the Sunset Forest. In the past few days, they encountered many soul beasts, of all types, including plant soul beasts, animal soul beasts, and even a few 10,000-year soul beasts. In particular, they encountered a 10,000-year-old netherworld leopard, which was extremely fast and came and went without a trace. It was the fastest of the speed-type soul beasts. Fortunately, it was frightened away by Yang Wudi. If an ordinary soul emperor encountered it, it would probably be dangerous. The two even found a lot of precious herbs, the best of which was a 1,000-year-old Smilax glabra, which was worth tens of thousands of gold soul coins. But no matter how hard they searched, they seemed to have not found the location of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire in the original book, and Yang Wudi was unwilling to take him to the inner circle. After all, his grandson was only a 6-year-old child, and the core area was too dangerous. In the end, with Yang Podi's regret, the two left the Sunset Forest. On the carriage, Yang Podi couldn't help but ask his grandfather, Grandpa, does our Xiandao Empire have any powerful poison soul masters? Yang Wudi was curious. Podi, why are you suddenly asking about poison soul masters? Grandpa, don't our Podi clan refine medicine and poison? Are there any poisons that are more powerful than ours? Podi, when it comes to using poison, the most famous person on Douluo Continent should be Douluo. His martial soul is the green phosphorus snake king, and he also lives in Xiandao City. Hearing the news about Douluo, Yang Podi instantly became interested. Grandpa, Is this Douluo very powerful? How does his poison compare to that of our Podi clan? The poison of our Podi clan should have its own advantages compared to Douluo's. Douluo's poison all comes from his martial soul. I met him once a year ago. He should have been a high-level soul Douluo at that time, but his poison couldn't do anything to your grandfather. Moreover, although this person is good in group battles, his single challenge ability is relatively weak. In terms of strength, he should not be my opponent, Grandpa. There seem to be fewer poison soul masters on Douluo Continent. What's the reason? Logically speaking, the lethality of poison should be very great. Podi, let me teach you another truth. Although using poison is very good and has great lethality, it has a big disadvantage. If a soul master uses poison for a long time, he will be poisoned himself, especially after being in contact with it for a long time. The toxin will be absorbed into his own blood, which will eventually slow down the improvement of his soul power. This is also one of the reasons why the soul power of my Po Hun clan can no longer be improved. However, refining medicine is one of the foundations of my Po Hun clan. As the clan leader, I must be more proficient in refining medicine. This is also the biggest regret of our Po Hun clan. Grandpa, is there any way to refine medicine without poisoning myself? Hearing this, Yang Wudi fell into deep thought, and spoke after a long time. Of course there is a way, as long as we find the legendary fairy grass Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpin. Grandpa, what is Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpin? The Yaoxiang Kilo immortal product is the nemesis of all poisons. It can neutralize all toxins. It cannot detoxify itself, but it can overcome poisons. However, our Po Hun clan has spent countless generations and still hasn't found it. Grandpa, what does the Yaoxiang Kilo immortal product look like? And what exactly are immortal products? Immortal products are some ultimate medicinal herbs. After tens of thousands or even more than 100,000 years of growth, these herbs have been able to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Ordinary soul masters can greatly increase their soul power after absorbing them, and some can even make their martial souls evolve. Each plant is priceless. The Yaoxiang Kilo immortal product is a large light pink flower with no leaves, a 3-foot-long stem, and an extremely large flower with a diameter of a foot. Each petal looks as crystal clear as crystal, and the stamens are light purple, like purple diamonds inlaid there. As long as you stand around the Yaoxiang Kilo immortal product, you will be immune to all poisons. Podi, now that you have become a spirit master, it is time to accept the true inheritance of our Po Hun clan. After I go back this time, I will teach you the knowledge of refining medicine inherited by the Po Hun clan. That is the true foundation of our Po Hun clan. Hearing this, Yang Podi was very excited, but he was also a little hesitant. Finally, he spoke, Grandpa, can I only learn the knowledge of refining medicine and not make medicine myself? Yang Wudi glanced at his grandson. Podi, why do you have this idea? You know, after you learn to refine medicine, you will become stronger. Grandpa, I do want to become stronger, but I want to be a more powerful spirit master. Hearing this, Yang Wudi fell silent. It seems that all members of the Po Hun clan are facing this trade-off problem, but all members are addicted after being exposed to the way of refining medicine. Otherwise, the Po Hun clan would not have gone through countless generations and there would not be a title Douluo. Although the Po Soul Spear is also known as the top weapon spirit, in terms of reputation, compared with the 7 killing swords and clear sky hammer, the gap is still quite obvious. This is also one of the greatest sorrows of the Po Hun clan. Podi, then you should learn the knowledge of alchemy first. Whether you want to learn alchemy or not, we will talk about it later. Yang Wudi was once determined to become a top soul master, but because he was obsessed with alchemy, he neglected his soul power training. Otherwise, he would not be a top soul saint until now. His soul power level is the lowest among the patriarchs of the 4 single attribute families, even lower than Baihe of the Min family. Now the other 3 are already soul Douluos. Thinking of this, Yang Wudi couldn't help but sigh. The success of the Po family is alchemy, and their failure may also be due to alchemy. After more than an hour, the carriage finally returned to Qingao Mountain of the Po family. As soon as he returned home, his mother Nia Jinfang pulled him to look around, fearing that there was something wrong with her son's body, which made Yang Podi speechless. Mom, there's really nothing wrong with my body, son. You've been out for so long this time, how can I not worry? And you absorbed a 600-year spirit ring, which is very dangerous? Niu Jinfeng carefully checked her son's body and was relieved to confirm that there was no problem. Son, don't do such dangerous things in the future. Although our Poi clan is not a big family, we still have some strength. You don't need to work so hard, Mom, don't worry, I will do things that I am sure of in the future. After communicating with his mother, Yang Podi returned to his room, and his mother continued to take care of his younger sister Yang Xianayu. Chapter 30, Alchemy Knowledge. Since obtaining the first soul ring, Yang Podi's daily study has also changed. He continued to practice his spear skills in the morning, and went to the primary school in the morning. In the afternoon, he added an hour of learning about alchemy knowledge, which was taught by his grandfather Yang Wudi himself. After learning, he went to climb the mountain with the weights. After climbing the mountain to exhaustion, he took a medicinal bath, and meditated at night. Today was the first time to learn about alchemy knowledge. After lunch, Yang Wudi brought his grandson to the alchemy room. The alchemy room was built in his grandfather's own small courtyard. It was a relatively large basement. As for why it was built in the basement, it was for quietness and to prevent all outsiders from disturbing it. The alchemy room is relatively large, with various shelves placed around it. On the shelves are various bottles and jars, which are filled with various herbs. Yang Podi carefully observed the shelves. The herbs on the shelf were very complete. There were common blue-silver grasses, and expensive ones were many thousand-year-old herbs, including some thousand-year-old ginseng, Poria cocos, and Chinese angelica. There were even a lot of soul beast blood, internal organs, and gallbladders. Of course, there were also a lot of snake toxins, even the toxins of the green phosphorus snake. There were also very few 10,000-year-old herbs, but the quantity was relatively small. In the middle of the pharmacy was a large medicine furnace, or an elixir furnace. When Yang Podi entered the pharmacy for the first time, it was as if he had entered a world of medicinal herbs. This time, Yang Wudi did not refine the medicine directly, but first explained some knowledge of refining medicine. Podi, our Poi clan is a family of alchemy with a long history. It can be said that no family in the entire Douluo Continent is more familiar with alchemy than us. What you learn in the elementary school every morning are some relatively basic knowledge. This knowledge is also available in some large families outside, but what I am going to teach you now are some inherited knowledge. As for this knowledge, the entire Poi clan is fully familiar with only me, your second grandfather Yang Wushuang, and your father Yang Zhenshin. Of course, it also includes some of the secret medicines of the Poi clan. The other elders have only learned a part of it, but some secret medicines are very dangerous, and you can't learn them for the time being. Your current task is to read books and familiarize yourself with all the medicinal materials and medicinal properties in the world first, in order to keep the family knowledge confidential. From now on, you will come here to read books every afternoon. If you encounter something you don't understand, you can come and ask me. On the medicine shelf behind you, there are most of the medicinal materials in Douluo Continent. You can compare and understand them, but you'd better not touch those poisonous medicinal materials first. After you really get in touch with alchemy, I will teach you how to use and touch them. After Yang Wudi finished speaking, he took out a lot of books from his soul guide. Many of the books look very old, and they should have been summarized and passed down by countless generations. Yang Podi looked at these books carefully, including Douluo Continent Immortal Herbs Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Poisonous Herbs Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Snakes Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Spiders Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Exotic Flowers and Herbs Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Soul Beasts Encyclopedia, Douluo Continent Poisonous Attribute Martial Souls Encyclopedia, Poi Clan Pills, Poi Clan Medicinal Bath. It can be said that all the medicines or poisons in Douluo Continent are recorded. The first thing Yang Podi picked up was the Douluo Continent Immortal Herbs Encyclopedia that he had always been eager to see. When he opened the first page, there was a large light pink flower, which was the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product. It not only contained the relevant functions, growth environment, digging methods, and preservation methods of the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product, etc. After carefully recording it in his mind, he opened the second page and saw a large white flower shaped like a peony, which was the immortal product Acacia Heartbroken Red. As he flipped through the pages, more and more immortal herbs appeared. In addition to the one that Tang San gave to the 6 Shrek people in the original work, there were many other immortal herbs with all kinds of strange properties. Among all the immortal herbs, the one that Yang Podi coveted the most was the 9-leaf swordgrass. The 9-leaf swordgrass could improve the Zhengjin attribute of the Soul Master. For the Soul Master with sword-type martial spirits, it was a divine product. If it was used by the Soul Master with his soul-breaking spear martial spirit, the sharpness of the soul-breaking spear would be greatly enhanced, and even the Soul Master could practice the spear light, or practice attacks similar to the sword light. And there was a certain chance that it would evolve into the ultimate gold. Grandpa, this 9-leaf sword grass seems to be very good for our Po Yu clan. Podi, you have a good vision. The 9-leaf sword grass is the most suitable for our Po soul spear martial soul among all the immortal herbs. Unfortunately, no one has found it for countless years. It is said that the founder of the 7-killing sword technique once took the 9-leaf sword grass, and his soul power finally reached level 98. Unfortunately, the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sect has been looking for it for almost half a lifetime and has not found it. Hearing this, Yang Wudi thought to himself, I wonder if there is 9-leaf sword grass in the yin-yang eyes of Binghuo Liangain? I hope so. An hour later, Yang Wudi reluctantly left the pharmacy. The knowledge of refining medicine is indeed profound. No wonder people from all generations of the Po Yi clan are obsessed with it. Thinking of this, Yang Wudi suddenly thought of a problem. One of his martial souls is his body. If he learns to refine medicine, the toxins can stimulate the growth and awakening of the second martial soul. I wonder if he can refine it into a body that is immune to all poisons like Dubusi in the original work. But now everything is unknown. Before I am sure, I still don't plan to make medicine by myself. No matter how wonderful the world of medicine making is, this is the world of Douluo Continent after all. Soul power is the foundation. Otherwise, I don't even have the power to protect myself. Otherwise, in the original work, the Po Yu clan would not become the Tang Sect's medicine hall. There is an extra father out of thin air. If their own strength is enough, why do they need to care about Tang San? Wouldn't it be more fun to establish a sect by themselves? Of course, in addition to refining medicine, Yang Wudi also quietly added a learning to himself. That is, when practicing guns every morning, in addition to the soul-breaking gun technique, he will also start to try to learn some gun techniques in his previous life. Before he has mastered it, he dare not tell others. After all, the soul-breaking gun technique of the Po Yu clan has been practiced by countless generations and can be called the crystallization of countless people's hard work. If you practice other gun techniques by yourself, you may be regarded as an alien, and then it will be troublesome. Yang Wudi also did one thing, which is to ask his father to ask someone to make a set of close-fitting weights for him. The whole set of weights is about 30 kilograms, including 3 kilograms of wrist guards for each of the 4 limbs and 20 kilograms of chest armor. Although the weight is not heavy, I will not take it off except for the time of medicinal bath. And I plan to gradually increase the weight after I get used to it. In short, I will use overload exercise every afternoon to press my body and break through the limit. After each weight-bearing mountain climbing, I will take a medicinal bath to make myself stronger. Chapter 31 Learning Gunmanship. Early in the morning, Yang Wudi came to the training ground in his backyard and began to practice spearmanship. Yang Wudi looked carefully at the soul-breaking spear in his hand. The spear is one of the ancient weapons of China. It is a long-handled stabbing weapon composed of a sharp blade and a stick. The handle is longer than the blade and has great comprehensive power. It is one of the 18 kinds of weapons and the first of the 4 famous weapons. It is called the king of all weapons. The spear is a long-handled weapon composed of a long stick and a short blade. The two are combined into a spear. Not only can it be held in close combat, but it can also be thrown at a distance to attack. It can also be used freely according to the advantages and tactics of various long weapons to attack the enemy. Knives, spears, swords, and sticks are the best among the ancient weapons of China, each with a unique status and characteristics. Among them, the knife is known as the chief of all weapons, the spear is known as the king of all weapons, and is deeply loved by the ancients for its long distance and large-scale killing effect. The sword is known as the king of all weapons and is also a symbol of power in ancient times. The stick is known as the ancestor of all weapons and is the most primitive and simplest weapon. From any angle, the spear is the most powerful of all weapons and the most important weapon on the battlefield. However, on the Douluo Continent, although the soul-breaking spear is known as the top weapon spirit, it does not have a corresponding status. The soul-breaking spear has a total of 9 moves, corresponding to the 8 soul skills of the soul-breaking spear, and no one has ever figured out the last move. They are shock, penetration, explosion, penetration, breaking, break, collapse, evil, and killing. Since all of them are offensive moves, They are used in correspondence with a soul-breaking spear, and the lethality is extremely great. This is also the reason why the Yang family is called the Po Yi clan. Just like the choice of soul skills, all offensive soul beasts are selected, and even a set of soul ring absorption methods and sequences are summarized, which correspond to the soul-breaking spear moves one by one. The most exaggerated thing is that if it comes to the desperate moment, all soul ring skills can be used in combination to cause a fatal blow. The original snake spear also died under this move. However, Yang Podi has always felt that although the soul-breaking spear is powerful, it is not the essence of the spear itself. The real foundation of spearmanship is the techniques of stabbing, piercing, lifting, pulling, blocking, grabbing, twisting, picking, pressing, splitting, collapsing, and dancing. As long as you master these, there are not so many requirements for soul skills. This is one of the reasons why Yang Podi dared to absorb all the power-type soul rings. The foundation of spearmanship includes stabbing spearmanship, twisting spearmanship, picking spearmanship, pulling spearmanship, pounding spearmanship, splitting spearmanship, sweeping spearmanship, dancing spearmanship, collapsing spearmanship, and blocking spearmanship. As long as you learn it, you can basically master the use of the soul-breaking spear perfectly. As for more exquisite moves, Yang Podi cannot practice them at this stage. The most important thing now is to lay a good foundation so that the soul-breaking spear in your hand is like your own hands and feet. This is also Yang Podi's main learning purpose at this stage. And Yang Podi himself started from the very beginning of the spearmanship. Yang Podi was seen holding a heavy soul-breaking spear in his hand and thrusting it forward. The spearmanship is mainly divided into three types: flat stabbing, oblique stabbing, and oblique stabbing. The middle and flat stab is mostly used to stab the opponent's chest, waist, and abdomen. The oblique stab is mostly used to stab the opponent's throat, head, face, back, etc., and the oblique stab is mostly used to stab the opponent's legs, feet, etc. Even for simple spear stabs, Yang Podi would practice for 2 hours every morning until his whole body was sore, and then he would finish practicing and go to have breakfast. Yang Podi's plan was to master one style completely before practicing the next one. It is estimated that each spear technique needs to be practiced for 2 months before it can be barely mastered, and it will take at least 3 years to fully master it. This is just a simple spear technique. The truly advanced spear techniques need to wait until the foundation is laid before learning. This is still on the Douluo Continent. Because of becoming a soul master, the physical fitness has been greatly improved because of the blessing of soul power. If it was in the ancient times of the previous life, it would take 10 years to become a master of spears. That afternoon, after Yang Podi finished learning the knowledge of alchemy, he was about to leave, but was stopped by Yang Wudi. "Podi, I heard that you usually study and practice alone. You are my grandson, the young patriarch of the Po Yi clan, and you will be the patriarch of my Po Yi clan in the future. You must learn to communicate with others instead of practicing hard alone, Grandpa. It's not that I don't like to communicate with others, but the people who study with me are all children, too childish, Podi. Even so, you can't play with a peer, so you will appear very lonely. How can you lead the Po Yi clan in the future? Besides, no matter how strong you are, you still need help, Grandpa. No matter what, I still think that personal strength is the most important. Only when you become stronger can you truly lead the Po Yi clan. I think it's boring for you to practice shooting and study alone. Boys still need to communicate more with their peers, so they won't be bored." Hearing Yang Wudi's words, Yang Podi felt speechless. Why did Grandpa look for him today? He wouldn't say this for no reason, right? "Grandpa, you've said so much, what do you want to say? Can you just say it directly, Podi?" "It's like this, there is a child of your age named Yang Pingan. His mother died of illness some time ago. His father and grandfather both died in the war of Haotian Sect before his mother died. She entrusted him to me. I want to just recognize him as my grandson. Your parents have agreed, Grandpa. Since you all agree, why are you asking me, Podi?" Yang Pingan awakened his martial soul with you at that time. His innate soul power is level 7. He is also a rare genius in my Po Yi clan, and he is also very hard-working in his daily practice. I want him to train with you, and he can become your right-hand man in the future. Yang Podi thought for a moment. It seems that there is nothing wrong. And the Po Yi clan really can't rely on themselves. Innate soul power level 7 is already considered a genius, and Zhu King of Shrek Academy is also innate soul power level 7. If you train him, It should be no problem for him to become a soul saint or even soul Douluo in the future. Grandpa, no problem, you can arrange for him to live in our house, and I will take him to practice together. Hearing Yang Podi say this, Yang Wudi finally breathed a sigh of relief. His grandson is very mature at a young age, and he practices very hard and self-disciplined, and he is also very talented. Basically, he is very good in all aspects. He just doesn't like to interact with others, and he doesn't have many friends in the clan. I'm afraid he won't even have a helper in the future. Yang Pingan has a congenital soul power of level 7, which is also a good genius. Letting him study with Yang Podi can not only solve the problem of the clan's orphan, but also solve the problem of his grandson's mental illness, killing two birds with one stone. Chapter 32 Yang Pingan. The next morning at breakfast, my dad brought home a little boy. The boy looked a little sad and his face was not very good. He was probably still immersed in the shadow of his mother's death. Son, this is Yang Pingan, a few months younger than you, and he will live in our home from now on. Pingan, this is my son Yang Podi. You will treat this place as your home from now on, and you can ask for anything you need. You will study with my son from now on. Podi, Pingan, you two will be brothers from now on, and you must get along well. In this way, there was a child named Yang Pingan in my family. After dinner, the two of them went to the practice field together. Yang Podi spoke first. Hello, let me introduce myself again. My name is Yang Podi. My martial soul is the soul-breaking spear, and my soul power is level 12. The little boy also spoke. Hello, my name is Yang Pingan. My martial soul is the soul-breaking spear, and my soul power is level 8. Yang Podi nodded. We are all members of the Poi clan, and now we are your own family. You can ask me any questions at any time. From today on, you will practice with me. I will practice spearmanship here every morning. In the morning, we will go to class together. In the afternoon, I will study pharmacology for a while. You are not a soul master yet, so you can't learn it now. You can go back to your room to practice your soul power. After you finish learning, we will go mountain climbing together with weights. Young clan leader, I'm sorry to bother you in the future. Pingan, hello, don't call me young clan leader in the future. Just call me big brother or brother Yang. It will be more intimate. After all, we are all disciples of the Poi clan. Okay, big brother, I'm sorry to bother you in the future. Pingan said that we are all family now. There is no trouble. You can ask me about any problems in practice or life. Okay, big brother, just like that. Yang Podi had a little follower named Yang Pingan. Yang Pingan seemed sad at first because of the death of his family, but after a while, he became lively. However, it seemed that Yang Podi's hard days had begun. He had to face all kinds of questions from a 6-year-old child every day, which made him very annoyed, but he couldn't refuse or perfunctorily answer. After all, the child called him big brother. In the morning, when Yang Podi was practicing the spear technique, Yang Pingan also began to practice the soul-breaking spear technique. Brother, why do I feel that the spear skills you practice are different from my soul-breaking spear skill? Pingan, I don't practice the soul-breaking spear skill. These are some spear skills that I thought of myself, and I've just started practicing them. Brother, why do I feel like something is wrong with you? Pingan, I usually carry weights on my body. Except when I'm taking a medicinal bath, I never take them off. Brother, can I carry weights too? Pingan, you're still quite young now. If you want to carry weights like me, it's best if you become a soul master before carrying weights. Your body may not be able to bear it now. Brother, today's weight training seems to be much more tiring than usual. Do you have this feeling? Pingan, today's weights should be no different from usual. Are you sick? How about asking my dad to take a look? In this way, the two of them practiced and learned together happily and painfully. And their father also gave them guidance from time to time. Time flies. 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Yang Podi is already 8.5 years old. He has grown to about 1.5 meters tall. Except for his slightly immature face, he is stronger, especially with muscles, which are more beautiful than those fitness athletes. His appearance is average. He looks ordinary and not very handsome. He looks like he can't be found in a crowd. But his eyes are sharp and his expression is resolute. Even because of long-term gun training, he has a strong momentum. He has black hair on his head. Although it is not long, it also looks a bit elegant. Sometimes when looking in the mirror, although he is not as pleasing as those handsome guys, he is also a spirited young man. A lot of things have happened to the Poi clan in the past 2 years. First of all, his grandfather Yang Wudi and his second grandfather Yang Wudi have broken through to the soul Douluo in the past 2 years. The time difference between the two is only half a year. Grandpa Yang Wudi's 8th soul ring has reached 60,000 years. He is a spotted tiger with very strong attack power. The attack power of the 8th soul skill is very strong, and even the strength has increased a lot. Moreover, he actually got a 60,000-year-old right arm soul bone, which is a peerless treasure. Even in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect and Haotian Sect, it can be used as a legacy soul bone. Fortunately, only the patriarchs of the 4 single-attribute families and Yang Wudi went to hunt the soul beast, and the news was not leaked. According to Yang Wudi, this soul bone can only be used by the patriarch of the Podi clan in the future. As for whether he has used it, no one knows for the time being, not even Yang Podi. The 8th soul ring of the second grandfather Yang Wudi reached 55,000 years. He is a powerful gorilla with good attack and strength. The 8th soul skill is also very good. In terms of the increase in strength, it is even stronger than Grandpa Yang Wudi. It's a pity that he didn't get the soul bone. I don't know if it's because of the influence of Yang Podi. The 8th soul rings chosen by the 2 people are biased towards power-type soul beasts, and both attack and strength have been improved a lot. The Podi clan now has a dual soul Douluo, and it is also a relatively large force in the Xiandao Empire. Although it is still far inferior to the 7 Treasures Glazed sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, but compared to the Elephant Armor sect, one of the 4 lower sects, it is not much worse, especially in terms of high-end strength. Grandpa Yang Wudi and second grandfather Yang Wudi are estimated to be able to single out the leader of the Elephant Armor sect, Hu Yansun. Moreover, the Po Hun clan are born fighting maniacs, fearless of death, all offensive spirit rings, basically invincible in the same realm. Even Soul Douluo strongmen dare not easily provoke the Po Hun clan. Therefore, the Po Hun clan is also regarded as a small prince, no one dares to provoke. As for those big forces, there is no big problem, and they will not provoke the Po Hun clan. After all, the poison of the Po Hun clan is also famous in the world. If they are forced into a corner and put poison in their own home, it would be a pitfall, which can be called an alternative version of the poison Douluo. And his father Yang Zhenshin has reached the 76th level of soul power after 2.5 years of training, and his mother Nia Jinfang has also reached the 68th level. It will take no more than 2 years to become a soul saint. Yang Pingan, the younger brother who followed behind him, although his personality was a bit immature, was indeed very hardworking in his cultivation. Whether it was physical training or cultivating soul power, he would not lag behind Yang Podi by much. Now he has obtained the first soul ring and has just broken through level 16. He is also a rare little genius. The youngest in the family, Yang Xianayu, is already 2 years old. He looks very cute, but his personality is not like a girl. At the age of only 2, he likes to run around, chase cats and play with dogs, making the whole Po Hun clan in a mess. He also looks a bit like his mother. It is estimated that he will grow up to be a female man. The elders of the Po Hun clan have only been promoted to 2 or 3 levels on average. Although none of them have broken through, their strength has been greatly improved. According to this situation, there may be many soul fighters in 5 years. Of course, it is also possible that they are stuck at the bottleneck of level 79 and cannot make progress. This requires opportunities. The entire Po Hun clan is thriving. Chapter 33 Douluo comes to ask for medicine. That night, Yang Podi was meditating alone in the room. After a day of exercise, especially the weight-bearing mountain climbing in the afternoon, Yang Podi's mental state was not very good. On the contrary, he seemed very tired. Even after the medicinal bath, he could not solve this fatigue. But it is precisely this kind of practice after fatigue that the effect of practice will be much better than normal. At this time, Yang Podi felt that all the muscles in his body seemed to be in a state of soreness, and the pores of his body were relaxed. During the meditation process, the soul power in the air was integrated into his body through the pores, and the soul power inside the whole body was in a state of rapid flow. With the injection of soul power in the air, it seemed to be more condensed. At this time, the soul power in the body seemed to have reached a critical point and could no longer grow. But as time went on, although the soul power did not grow, the flow speed was faster, especially under the stimulation of the continuous injection of external soul power. It seemed particularly excited. Suddenly, I felt that the whole body seemed to break through a bottleneck with a snap, and then the soul power of the whole body began to grow and condense again. The whole body was warm, from pores to muscles and even soul. The whole person suddenly became very smooth, and the inner vision also seemed clearer and more ethereal. It's done. I finally broke through to level 20. At this moment, Yang Podi finally broke through to the realm of a great soul master, and he is also the youngest great soul master in the history of the Poi clan. Yang Podi forced himself to hide the excitement in his heart, and continued to practice. Although he had broken through, it seemed that the effect of practice would be better when he had just broken through. The next morning, Yang Podi found his father. Dad, Mom, I broke through to level 20. Yang Zhenshin was also excited. Son, not bad. He broke through to level 20 at the age of 8.5, which means he is the fastest soul master in the history of our Poi clan. He will definitely revitalize our Poi clan in the future. His mother and younger brother Yang Pingan also seemed very happy. What could be happier than seeing his family members improve? And his younger sister kept calling him Big Brother on the side. I wonder if she is happy? After everyone was delighted for a while, Yang Zhenshin suddenly said, Son, we in the Poi clan are quite busy recently. I'm afraid your grandfather and second grandfather don't have time to accompany you to hunt soul beasts. Yang Podi turned his head and looked at the location of his grandfather's house. Dad, don't let Grandpa go with me this time. Just the two of us go together, okay, son? This time I will take you to hunt soul beasts in person, and I promise to let you find a satisfactory soul ring. Yang Zhenshin's soul power has reached the 76th level of Soul Saint. A soul ring within 1,000 years is very simple, but Grandpa Yang Wudi is worried that his precious grandson will encounter danger and Yang Zhenshin's vision and strength are not enough, so he has always emphasized that he must take his grandson to hunt soul rings in person, but it just so happens that there is a big event recently that entangles everyone. Yang Podi thought to himself, I must not miss this opportunity. This is the foundation for the real rise of my Poi clan. Yes, it was because of this big event that gave Yang Podi this idea. Half a month ago, Soul Douluo Dugubo suddenly brought his son Duguzin to ask for medicine. Dugubo is a top Soul Douluo, with extraordinary strength in the Xiandao Empire, especially his poison, which makes people terrified. He can basically kill the soul masters below the Soul Douluo in seconds. Especially those families and sects without title Douluo, they are afraid to provoke Dugubo, otherwise they will bring disaster. Dugubo did something similar to slaughtering the clan. It is said that many years ago, a medium-sized family, because of a conflict with the Dugu family, attacked Dugubo's son Duguzin, causing Duguzin to be seriously injured. Dugubo saw that his only son was seriously injured, and in a rage, he went straight to this family and finally fought a big battle with this family. From then on, this family disappeared on the Douluo Continent, and even the family residence became a dead land. It really did the legendary no chickens and dogs left. And recently, for some unknown reason, Dugubo's son Duguzin suddenly became poisoned. He searched all the famous doctors in the entire Xiandao Empire, but everyone was helpless. Even Urangxin, the patriarch of the Nine-Heart Begonia clan, was helpless against the poison in Duguzin's body. He could only barely help him breathe again, but could not help him detoxify. The Poi clan was very famous in the Xiandao Empire for refining medicine and poison, but they were not very good at treating diseases, and they were not a medical family. After all, in the world of soul masters, healing soul masters were much more effective than using medicine. Moreover, the Poi clan was born to be a fighting maniac, and the members of the clan were quite arrogant and not easy to communicate with. Dugubo saw that his son was getting weaker and weaker, and it was obvious that he would not live long. He had to try his best and brought his son to the Poi clan to ask for medicine. The poison in Duguzin was the poison of the martial soul, which came from his own martial soul. It can be said that he himself was a source of poison. No healing soul master could really help, and even some detoxification soul skills could not cure him. It just so happens that the Poi clan loves to refine medicine and poison. When Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang saw Duguzin who was poisoned, they were immediately surprised. After communicating with Dugubo and Duguzin lived in the Poi clan. The four of them are now in the pharmacy, and they don't know how the specific detoxification effect is. But the pharmacy is now strictly prohibited, and no one is allowed to approach or enter, especially the pharmacy occasionally emits bursts of green gas, which is very strange and scary. At this time in Yang Wudi's pharmacy, Yang Wudi, Yang Wushuang and Dugubo looked at Duguzin lying on the bed. Yang Wudi said, Brother Dugu, After this period of treatment, we have a certain understanding of your son's poison. If we follow the method of refining medicine and poison of our Podi clan, we can indeed alleviate your son's poisoning and get him out of danger in a short period of time. But after our research over this period of time, we found that the poison in your son mainly comes from his martial soul and the poison attribute soul ring he absorbed. No matter what medicine it is, I am afraid it will not be able to cure your son. If Brother Douluo can be cruel and destroy your son's martial soul, then the poison in your son can be completely cured. After all poisons come from your son's own martial soul, or from himself. Even if we really cure his poison now, as long as your son practices, toxins will continue to be produced in the future. At this time, Douluo, although his son is still alive, is still very worried. Two clan leaders, are there any other ways to cure my son? Yang Wudi thought for a long time before speaking. Of course there is a way. If Brother Douluo can find the legendary fairy grass Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpan, your son's poison will naturally be no problem. Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpan? What is Yaoxiang Kilo Xianpan? The Yaoxiang Kilo fairy product is a magical herb that can cure all poisons in the world. It can definitely cure the poison of your son's martial soul. However, this thing has disappeared from the world for countless years. My Poi clan has also searched for it for many generations, but has not found it yet. Then may I ask the two clan leaders, is there any other way? There are thousands of martial souls and soul beasts in the Douluo Continent. Maybe someone else has a way to cure your son, but we two are not well educated and have not thought of a solution yet. Douluo was silent for a long time, and finally spoke. Then I have to trouble you two to help cure my son first, and then everyone can think of other ways. Although Douluo couldn't bear to let his son become an ordinary person, he still wanted to do his best to cure him. Chapter 34 Entering the Sunset Forest. When Yang Podi heard that Douluo had brought his son to treat his illness, his eyes sparkled. Yang Podi knew that his chance had come, and so had the Poi clan. It was obvious that Douluo had not yet occupied the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, otherwise he would not have failed to break through to the title Douluo, or his son would not have been unable to be treated. According to the original plot, Douluo should have lost his son Douluo first, and then obtained the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. The yin-yang eyes of ice and fire were now ownerless. This trip to the Sunset Forest to hunt for spirit rings was the best opportunity, and it might even be the last chance. Early the next morning, Yang Zhenshin took his son out. This time, they went to the Sunset Forest again by carriage. Yang Zhenshin spoke first in the carriage. Son, what kind of soul beast do you want to hunt as a soul ring this time? How long should the soul beast age be? Yang Podi thought for a moment. Dad, I still want a power-type soul ring. If there are some special power-type soul skills, it will be better. As for the soul ring age, it should be more than 900 years and no more than 1,000 years. Yang Zhenshin immediately became interested. Son, why did you choose this? I have always planned to go the route of pure strength. If there are some relatively good skills, I can still consider it. As for the soul ring age, I can't confirm whether I can absorb a 1,000-year soul ring now, and the second 1,000-year soul ring is too eye-catching. The Poi clan is not that strong yet. In theory, each soul ring can improve physical fitness, especially for Yang Podi who has the body martial soul, but the early soul rings, especially the first soul ring, have limited improvement on physical fitness. 10,000 years later, the first and second soul rings of the Podi sect are basically no different from those of normal soul masters. They can only achieve the strength of the body in the later stage, through the leapfrog improvement of each soul ring. Even if the poison is not dead, although it can achieve the 7th soul ring of 100,000 years, the first 4 soul rings are too yellow and too purple. So Yang Podi did not decide to absorb the second soul ring of 1,000 years. Besides, the second soul ring of 1,000 years is indeed a bit eye-catching, and it may attract countless people's covetousness. No matter who it is, they all hope that their sect or descendants will be stronger, especially those large sects that have been passed down for thousands of years. If they really have the second soul ring of 1,000 years, the 3 sects may immediately send people to communicate and inquire. After all, everyone knows that the higher the age of the soul ring, the greater the improvement to the body. As for whether it is the 4th ring of 10,000 years, you have to reconsider it at that time. You don't have a way to resist soul shock. Tang San can only do it because of the cultivation of the purple extreme demon eye. After listening to his son's words, Yang Zhenshin couldn't help but nodded. Son, you are right. It seems that you have grown up a lot. 2 hours later, The two came to the outskirts of the sunset forest. After storing the carriage, this time he did not observe the surroundings, but went directly into the sunset forest. After entering the soul-hunting forest again, Yang Podi still felt a strong breath of nature and felt very comfortable. After entering the new forest, Father Yang Zhenshin began to get nervous. He held his son's hand and didn't let his son leave him. Whether it was a road, a tree, or even an open space, he had to walk through it first before letting his son follow. If he encountered a swamp, a dense forest, or a small river, he would carry his son on his back to prevent any accidents. Yang Podi was speechless. Was his father too cautious? However, when Yang Podi saw a very small snake, he immediately understood his father's intention. This snake was very small, probably less than 1 centimeter in diameter and half a meter in length, but it was extremely fast and obviously poisonous. Fortunately, his father reacted quickly, otherwise it would be dangerous. In this way, the two searched in the sunset forest for 3 days and 3 nights, but still did not find a soul beast that satisfied Yang Podi. Either the age did not meet the requirements, or the attributes did not meet the requirements. Especially Yang Podi wanted to find some power-type soul beasts with special attributes, which was even more difficult. Of course, there are many very good ones. I have always found a 700-year-old Kyangenant, but it was directly rejected by Yang Podi. After all, I am a time traveler. How could every soul ring be a Kyangenant? That would be too embarrassing. Of course, I also encountered some bear-like soul beasts, and even the age reached 800 years, but they were still rejected by Yang Podi. This time, I must find a top-quality soul beast, at least a soul beast of very good level. That night, when the two were resting, Yang Zhenshin suddenly seemed to feel something. He stood up suddenly from his sitting position and even pulled his son up directly. Yang Podi only vaguely felt a tiger roar, but it was not obvious. Son, I'm afraid there will be a very good soul beast this time, but I don't know if the age is suitable for you. Dad, what soul beast is it? From the sound just now, it should be a tiger. Let's go and have a look together. In the sunset forest, Yang Zhenshin didn't dare to leave his son alone to find soul beasts by himself, especially at night, when there are various dangers. Yang Zhenshin took his son's hand and walked forward quickly. After walking about half a kilometer, a tiger came into view. The tiger was more than 4 meters long, very close to 5 meters. The tiger's body was not the common white or yellow, but black with a little blue. There was a big word king on the tiger's head, which looked very majestic, worthy of being the king of the forest. Son, this is a purple-eyed demon tiger. The purple-eyed demon tiger is the best among tiger-type soul beasts. It is not weaker than the white tiger, and may even be stronger. Normal tigers like to be active during the day. But the purple-eyed demon tiger is just the opposite. It likes to be active at night. In addition to its extremely strong power, the purple-eyed demon tiger also has some dark attributes. The most exaggerated thing is that a few soul masters who obtain the purple-eyed demon tiger soul ring will gain teleportation skills. The Zhou family of the Xingluo Empire has the nether spirit cat as their martial soul, but their favorite soul beast is the purple-eyed demon tiger. However, the number of purple-eyed demon tigers is very rare. It is said that the Zhou family seems to have offered a reward in order to find the purple-eyed demon tiger. What do you think of this purple-eyed demon tiger? Teleport. How is that possible? Shouldn't teleportation be possessed by agile soul beasts or some special soul beasts? I don't know about this either, I've just heard about it. It's just that the purple-eyed demon tiger seems to have a certain relationship with the dark demon evil god tiger, the overlord of the Xingdao Great Forest. I just don't know if it's true, and this purple-eyed demon tiger is more than 900 years old, very close to 1,000 years. After some thinking and analysis, Yang Podi finally made up his mind. Dad, I want this purple-eyed demon tiger. I think it will be very suitable for me. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, Second Soul Ring Purple-Eyed Demon Tiger. Seeing that his son had made up his mind, Yang Zhenshin was relieved. His son's second soul ring was finally settled. Son, stay where you are and be careful. This purple-eyed demon tiger is very dangerous. I will deal with him now. After Yang Zhenshin finished speaking, The soul-breaking spear appeared in his hand, and the 7 soul rings on his body lit up. Then he quickly rushed towards the purple-eyed demon tiger and stabbed it with a spear. But Yang Zhenshin's fierce attack did not hit it. The purple-eyed demon tiger disappeared and appeared dozens of meters away. Then the purple-eyed demon tiger actually let out a tiger roar, and instead flew towards Yang Zhenshin quickly. During the flight, the purple-eyed demon tiger actually flashed and appeared next to Yang Zhenshin, and a huge tiger claw slapped Yang Zhenshin directly. Yang Zhenshin raised his spear to block it directly, but his body was slapped back half a point. It is indeed a top-level soul beast, and its combat power is so terrifying. You have to know that Yang Zhenshin is already a high-level soul saint. He can easily kill even a soul beast of 10,000 years old, let alone a soul beast of less than 1,000 years old. Yang Zhenshin seemed a little angry. He was a soul saint, but he didn't kill a tiger of less than 1,000 years old with one blow. Instead, the tiger counterattacked. Yang Zhenshin didn't wait for the purple-eyed demon tiger to teleport again. He quickly raised his gun and stabbed the purple-eyed demon tiger again. The purple-eyed demon tiger seemed to know how powerful Yang Zhenshin was. It roared and used all its strength to block, but it was still injured. There was a very large stab wound on the tiger's back, and blood was flowing. But Yang Zhenshin didn't care about the purple-eyed demon tiger's injury. If he wasn't afraid of killing him directly with a previous shot, the purple-eyed demon tiger would have been pierced directly. Yang Zhenshin then quickly stabbed the purple-eyed demon tiger again. This time, the purple-eyed demon tiger finally teleported away, but when it just teleported, a soul-breaking gun flew over from the sky and pierced the purple-eyed demon tiger's body directly, nailing it directly to the ground. At this time, the purple-eyed demon tiger was nailed to the ground, dying, bleeding profusely, and could no longer survive. "Son, it's already done, get ready to come and kill this purple-eyed demon tiger with your own hands." Hearing this, Yang Podi quickly came to his father's side, used his soul-breaking spear, and directly pierced the purple-eyed demon tiger's eyes, and the purple-eyed demon tiger died instantly. Then, a yellow soul ring appeared above its body. Yang Zhenshin looked at his son with some worry. "Son, you have to think clearly, this is a soul ring that is nearly 1,000 years old, which has exceeded the upper limit of the soul rings absorbed by ordinary soul masters. Dad, don't worry, you should know my physical strength, and there should be no problem absorbing this soul ring." Then, under Yang Zhenshin's worried eyes, Yang Podi sat next to the purple-eyed demon tiger's body and began to absorb this soul ring. During the soul ring absorption process this time, he also experienced great pain, and his whole body was like being in a sea of fire. Countless soul powers poured into every cell of his body, and Yang Podi just endured it silently. It took 3 hours to absorb the soul rings. After the soul rings were absorbed, Yang Podi felt that his body was extremely smooth. At this time, the soul-breaking spear in his hand had 2 yellow soul rings. In his mind, a giant was holding the soul-breaking spear, and the spear had 2 soul rings. The giant seemed to have become much stronger. After the absorption was completed, Yang Podi summoned his soul-breaking spear martial spirit, and felt that the entire soul-breaking spear was much heavier. The weight of the spear body was more than 300 kilograms, and Yang Podi's body strength was also much stronger. Seeing his soul-breaking spear, Yang Podi couldn't help but think of Tang San's clear sky hammer. During the Soul Master competition, Tang San was only a soul sect cultivator, but at that time he didn't add any soul rings to the clear sky hammer, and the weight of the clear sky hammer had reached 500 kilograms, which was one of the heaviest martial spirits. Seeing that his son's soul ring had been absorbed, Yang Zhenshin could not help but ask, "Son, how about this soul ring? What kind of soul skills does it have?" "Dad, the soul skills this time are very good. I'll show you." Yang Podi stood up and summoned his soul-breaking spear. 2 yellow soul rings appeared under his feet, and then the second soul ring began to flash. Yang Podi raised the gun and stabbed hard forward. A miracle happened. Yang Podi appeared directly next to a big tree about 20 meters ahead. Then, the entire 1-meter wide tree was directly pierced. "Son, your soul skill is very good. What is the specific effect?" "Dad, this soul skill of mine is called Demon Tiger Destruction Kill. I can teleport to the enemy and attack the enemy. When I use this soul skill, the weight and attack power of my soul-breaking spear will increase by 50%, and it will consume about 10% of my soul power each time. Of course, as my soul power gradually increases, the consumption should become smaller. Moreover, the distance of teleportation is now at most 30 meters. The specific distance is related to the consumption of soul power. The distance of teleportation should become farther in the future, but it should not be too far. Hearing his son's introduction, Yang Zhenshin seemed very happy. Son, even I envy your soul skill. I am afraid it is better than many people's 1,000-year soul skills, and it is very practical. Son, what level of soul power is you now? Dad, I am now level 22. Son, you are really good, worthy of being my son. Yang Podi seemed to think of something suddenly. Dad, let me ask you a question. How did you determine the position of the purple-eyed demon tiger after it teleported? Yang Zhenshin couldn't help but smile. Son, I think you are afraid that someone will be able to see through your soul skill. You can rest assured about this, son. You shouldn't encounter enemies of this level in the short term, son. Remember, any teleportation soul skill will have fluctuations in soul power during the teleportation process, including fluctuations in your own soul power and fluctuations in soul power in the air, especially at the moment of teleportation. You can't feel this kind of soul power fluctuation now. Normal soul masters can only feel it after reaching the soul saint level, or some soul masters with particularly strong mental power. Soul masters at the soul saint level will have a qualitative leap in mental power. Son, you shouldn't encounter opponents of this level for the time being. Besides, as your own strength improves, your control over soul power will become stronger and stronger, and in this way, the effect of teleportation on soul power fluctuations in the air will become smaller and smaller, so you don't have to worry about this soul skill being seen through. This is why teleportation soul skills are called divine skills, because this type of soul skill does not consume too much energy, but is hard to defend against. After the two talked for a while, they began to prepare to leave. Of course, the two of them carefully disassembled the purple-eyed demon tiger, but did not find any spirit bones. This made Yang Podi speechless. Tang San was able to obtain the 8 spider spirit bone by absorbing spirit rings of higher levels, but he absorbed spirit rings of higher levels twice in a row, but got nothing. Chapter 36 Titan Python. Yang Zhenshin saw that his son had obtained a satisfactory spirit ring. Son, let's prepare to go back now. We have been out for several days. Dad, we are not going back this time. I want to train in the Sunset Forest for a while. Yang Zhenshin was a little surprised. Son, you are now a great spirit master, and you can almost participate in the spirit fighting field. The spirit fighting field will be relatively safer. Why do you want to train in the Sunset Forest? Yang Podi thought for a moment and couldn't help complaining in his heart. I can't tell you that I am looking for the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, right? Dad, I feel very familiar after arriving at the Sunset Forest, as if there is something that particularly attracts me. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin immediately became interested. Before the last battle of the Haotian Sect, his son insisted on leaving the sect and going to Xiandao City because he felt dangerous, and save the family's losses. Is the situation similar this time? Son, what do you feel? Is there something attracting you? Could it be that you have been bewitched by some soul beast? Dad, if I was bewitched, wouldn't you be able to find out? You are a soul sage. After the two communicated for a while, they finally agreed to train in the Sunset Forest. Yang Podi carefully reviewed the original work. It seemed that the original work did not describe the specific location of the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. The only thing that was explained was that the outside was full of poisonous barriers, part of which was created by Douluo. The spring itself should also have a lot of poisonous gas, otherwise it would not have been undiscovered for tens of thousands of years. As long as you look for places with poisonous gas, you may find the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. In this way, the two trained in the Sunset Forest. Even when they reached the core area of the Sunset Forest, they did not find any place where poisonous gas gathered. They might have found many very powerful soul beasts. The oldest soul beast reached 70,000 to 80,000 years old, which scared the two away quickly. Soul beasts of this level are not something that a mere soul sage can deal with. Even a titled Douluo would find it difficult to deal with. As for the 10,000-year soul beasts, there were even more, basically several every day, and there were also many power soul beasts, but unfortunately, for the time being, neither of them had such needs. My father was only level 76 now, and it would probably take several more years for him to reach Soul Douluo. That day, when the two of them passed by a swamp, they both stopped at the same time. Dad, do you think this area is very strange? Normally, even in a swamp, there should be many soul beasts nearby, but why is it so quiet here? There is not even the sound of insects. Yang Zhenshin did not speak, but took his son's hand and quietly retreated until he left the swamp. Then he spoke. Son, what you said just now is right. The swamp just now is indeed very strange, and there may be something incredible hidden in it. Yang Poti thought for a while. Dad, how about we throw a live soul beast over there to try? We can also be more careful in the future. Son, this is a good idea. Wait for me for a moment. Let's go catch a small soul beast. After speaking, Yang Zhenshin took his son to catch a soft-bone rabbit. The soft-bone rabbit is a very common soul beast in the forest. It has a strong reproductive capacity and is almost impossible to kill. It can even be regarded as a pest in some small soul beast forests, but it is also a common meat for residents of Douluo Continent. After all, compared with other soul beasts, the soft-bone rabbit seems to have no other advantages except running fast. Thinking of this, Yang Podi couldn't help but complain again. With regard to the survival ability of the soft-bone rabbit, how did Xiao Wu and his mother become a 100,000-year soul beast in the dangerous Xingdao Great Forest? You know, a 100,000-year soul beast is not only coveted by humans, but also by soul beasts. What was caught was a 10-year-old soft-bone rabbit. After catching it, the whole rabbit seemed to be trembling a little, especially after approaching the swamp. Yang Zhenshin threw the soft-bone rabbit into the swamp like a javelin. The soft-bone rabbit in the middle of the swamp trembled, as if it had encountered a great terror. Suddenly, a huge head stretched out from the swamp and swallowed the soft-bone rabbit in one bite. The head was 5 meters in size, with 2 lantern-sized eyes on the head, sharp teeth in the mouth, and even 2 horns on the top of the head, but both horns were relatively small. Dad, what is this thing? It looks very scary. Hearing his son's question, Yang Zhenshin swallowed his saliva and said, Son, it's a good thing we are far away, otherwise it would be really dangerous. That thing just now should be a Titan python, which is the ultimate among pythons. Judging from the size of its head, this Titan python may be hundreds of meters long. It may be a 100,000-year-old soul beast. Titan pythons are relatively lazy. They don't like to come out to find food. They like to hibernate and hide in cold and humid places. The large swamp just now is probably his territory. No wonder there are no soul beasts around. The Titan python is extremely powerful, even not weaker than ordinary bear soul beasts, and its body temperature can change according to the environment. Even a tidal Douluo may not be able to sense it. Hearing this, Yang Podi also felt a little scared. There are actually soul beasts of this level in the Sunset Forest? Dad, since this Titan python is so strong, why doesn't anyone want to catch it? After all, a 100,000-year-old soul beast is priceless. Son, think about it. How big is this swamp? There might be snake holes underneath. It would be very difficult to hunt it. Dad, how toxic is the Titan python? The toxicity of the Titan python is very common. Our family can detoxify this poison. Son, why are you suddenly interested in poison? How about I teach you how to make poison when we go back? Son, let's leave here first. It's too dangerous around here. I'll find a safe place first. Just like that, the two of them left the swamp. Although the Titan python was far away, it would be troublesome if it sensed them. After the two left, they found an open space. Hearing what he said just now, Yang Podi was speechless. Although he had come into contact with the knowledge of refining medicine and poison in the past 2 years, Yang Podi never made them himself, and he didn't even touch them, nor did he think about developing in this direction. And his father and grandfather have always wanted to guide him to develop in this direction. After all, this is one of the foundations of the Podi clan. Son, why don't we go back first? This Sunset Forest may be more dangerous than we thought. Yang Podi thought carefully for a while, and finally said, Dad, this time I am in the Sunset Forest mainly to see if I can find the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, how is this possible? Although the existence of yin-yang eyes of ice and fire is indeed recorded in the books, no one has ever found it, and it is not necessarily in the Sunset Forest. There are also records of yin-yang eyes of ice and fire in the ancient books of the Podi clan, but they are only fragments, and basically no one believes in its existence. Chapter 37 finally found. Yang Podi was a little serious at this time. Dad, although you may find it incredible, I do feel that the Sunset Forest has a great attraction to me. I have always suspected that the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire are in the Sunset Forest, especially based on the influences from ancient books. I am even more sure. You have to believe in my feelings and influences. I think there must be a big treasure in the sunset forest. Yang Podi was really forced to be a little helpless, so he told the matter of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. After all, he was his biological father, and he was relatively trustworthy. Yang Zhenshin is a bit serious now. Have you ever thought about what the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire are? There are indeed records of it in ancient books, but it is almost impossible to form it. Since you said it is impossible to exist, then why is it recorded in ancient books? Don't forget, Douluo Continent is a place where many miracles can occur, such as the lake of life in the center of the starred-out Great Forest. In the eyes of many people, it is also a miracle of life. Okay, son, I can't argue with you. But have you ever thought about how to find the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire specifically? I think that since there is no similar news in the entire continent now, it means that the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire are in a very hidden place, or a very safe place. But don't forget, according to its characteristics, the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire will exist in places with highly toxic substances, especially places with natural poison barriers. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin thought for a moment, and actually took out a map of the sunset forest from his soul guide. Since you have a map of the sunset forest, why didn't you take it out earlier? Then we would be much safer, Yang Zhenshin said in a teaching tone. The sunset forest has been explored by many people. What's so strange about having a map? But there are many soul beasts in the forest, and many of them are homeless, so the map can only be used as a reference. You have to remember. In any soul beast forest, the map can only be used as a reference. Don't look at anything other than the basic terrain. Otherwise, you will form a fixed mindset, making you think that a certain place is safe or has powerful soul beasts, thus ignoring sudden attacks. The sudden attacks in the soul beast forest are the most terrifying. After hearing these words, Yang Podi began to recall the situation after entering the sunset forest. Many soul beast attacks were indeed unexpected, especially the Titan Python, which was even more impossible to mark on the map. Otherwise it would have been besieged by several major sects long ago. Even the purple-eyed demon tiger he encountered was also encountered suddenly. In the soul beast forest, especially in the advanced soul beast forest, the most feared thing is the various types of soul beasts that are unpredictable and hard to guard against. I understand. I will be very careful when I enter the soul beast forest next time. Then the two began to study the map. The markings on the map were very simple. They only indicated that there were mountains, rivers, etc. in certain places, but did not specifically mark which place had powerful soul beasts. Yang Podi couldn't help but complain when looking at the map. No wonder his father didn't take out the map. If he walked according to this map, he would definitely be in the forest. And the risk factor would probably increase significantly. But after studying the map carefully, his father began to explain it to Yang Podi. Take a look. These places I marked should be the places we have already passed. As for the periphery of the forest, there is no need to explore it. There may be only places that have not been explored, especially those that are not clearly marked on the map. Isn't this map a little too blurry? I feel dizzy, and what did you mark it based on? Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin couldn't help but smile. Son, let me teach you another truth. The only reference in the soul hunting forest is the sun in the sky. No matter which direction we walk, we must remember how far we have walked, so that we can form a rough outline in our minds. Otherwise we will definitely get lost in the forest. For example, from the swamp just now to our current location, it is about 3.5 kilometers, and the direction is 40 degrees southeast. Based on our itinerary in the past few days, I estimate that we are at this location on the map, and the deviation should not exceed 3 kilometers. After saying this, he pointed to a place on the map. Hearing this, Yang Podi couldn't help but complain in his heart. There are so many things to learn in the soul beast forest. He was a college student in his previous life. Why does he feel like an illiterate now? Then, Yang Zhenshin said earnestly, you are still young, and there is still a lot to learn. You can learn slowly in the future. Looking at his father's proud expression, Yang Podi was speechless. He was actually fooled by his father. In the following time, the two continued to search in the sunset forest, and even found several poisonous soul beasts, especially a human-faced demon spider that was more than 40,000 years old. It chased the two for a long time, making them very embarrassed. His father even forgot the direction. When the two stopped, they had come to an unknown place. Yang Podi looked around the surrounding environment. Dad, do you think this place is a bit strange? Son, don't say that. If we encounter any high-level soul beasts again, we will be in trouble. Yang Podi was speechless. Why did he feel that the two of them had become frightened birds? Dad, feel the surrounding environment carefully. Is there anything wrong? Yang Zhenshin used his soul power to carefully explore the surroundings, but he felt that the distance he explored seemed to be much shorter than usual, and there seemed to be a strange breath in the surrounding air, which he had never seen before. Then, Yang Zhenshin sniffed the air carefully and confirmed that there was indeed a mild toxin in the air. Son, something is wrong around here. The location here is very remote. Judging from the growth of the flowers and plants around, no one should have been here. Judging from the surrounding terrain, there seems to be a volcano nearby, and I think there seems to be a toxin in the air that we have never encountered before. If we stay here for too long, it may cause harm to the body. Dad, do you know what kind of toxin this is? What are its properties? After carefully exploring for a moment, the old man couldn't help but say, why do I feel that this toxin is very strange? The toxin has both the property of ice and the property of fire. How did these two properties come together? Hearing this, Yang Podi was ecstatic. Dad, don't forget, our main goal this time is to find something. Hearing what his son said, Yang Zhenshin couldn't help swallowing his saliva. Do you mean that the yin-yang eye of ice and fire is nearby? Dad, there should be no soul beast in this world that can produce toxins with both ice and fire properties at the same time. Our destination this time, the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, should be nearby. Chapter 38 Yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. After thinking for a while, the two of them gradually searched in the direction of the source of the poison barrier. After searching for a while, they did see an area where the poison became thicker, but Yang Podi was only level 22 now and could not resist it at all. Moreover, the deeper they went, the thicker it became. No wonder no one noticed it, and there were no soul beasts nearby. At this time, Yang Zhenshin took out 2 detoxification pills from his body, took one himself, and then gave one to Yang Podi. This detoxification pill is quite effective. It is the secret medicine of my Poi clan. It can resist ordinary toxins. After Yang Podi took the detoxification pill from his father's hand, he also swallowed it directly. After taking the detoxification pill, he felt that his whole body was unobstructed. The surrounding toxin seemed to have no effect on him, and his whole body seemed to be disconnected from the outside world. The effect of this detoxification pill seems to be very good, son. Of course, this is the best detoxification pill inherited by my Poi clan. Do you want to go back and I will teach you how to refine it? Without waiting for Yang Podi to speak, Yang Zhenshin directly wrapped his son with soul power, and then quickly walked into the depths of the poisonous fog. In the depths of the poisonous fog, there was a hill about 500 meters high in the forest, and on the top of the hill was an inverted cone-shaped valley. Thick hot air rose from the valley, and there was a smell of sulfur in the valley. In the middle of the valley was a cliff, which was very steep. In addition, the poisonous fog here was very thick, and the visibility was very low. If you don't look carefully, you can't find it at all. And because of the thick poisonous fog, the perception of the Soul Master has become much weaker. No wonder no one has found it for so many years. Be careful, son, I'll take you down now. After Yang Zhenshin finished speaking, he took his son's hand and jumped into the cliff. When the two entered the bottom of the valley, they saw a special hot spring. The area of the hot spring was not large, but it was divided into 2 parts. In the oval pool, the colors of the hot spring water were milky white and vermilion respectively. What's more bizarre is that although they are in the same pool, they are clearly separated, do not invade each other, and always stay on their own side. The steam that rolled up was generated by the location between the 2 hot springs, forming the poisonous fog that enveloped the outside. In the entire valley, the springs were surrounded by various plants in various shapes and forms, like a paradise for plants. Many familiar plants caught Yang Podi's eyes. They were the plants recorded in the book Douluo Continent Immortal Herbs and Douluo Continent Poisonous Herbs inherited by the Poi clan, including Acacia Heartbroken Red, Karen Tongshan Chrysanthemum, Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal Products, King Kong Luhan Fruit, Earth Dragon Golden Melon, Crystal Jade Muscle Bone, Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower. According to Yang Podi's estimation, there were only 20 to 30 immortal herbs visible, and many of them grew underground, so the number was even greater, much more than what Tang San gave to Shrek in the original book. At this time, his father Yang Zhenshin was also stunned. He didn't expect that he would be able to see the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire in his lifetime. And even see so many immortal herbs. Yang Zhenshin gently picked up the fragrant fairy product, and then observed and studied it carefully, as if he had met a peerless beauty. Then, from time to time, he made all kinds of strange laughs, like crazy. Seeing this, Yang Podi couldn't help shaking his head, muttering to himself, how could his father be the same as the grandfather in the original book? A fairy grass almost drove him crazy. Yang Podi couldn't care so much for the time being, and began to dig fairy grass alone when his father was not paying attention. When Yang Podi just became a soul master, his grandfather Yang Wudi gave him a storage bracelet. Although it could not store living things, the entire bracelet space was still relatively large, with a full 50 cubic meters, and Yang Podi himself prepared a lot of jade boxes for this day, a full 100. Yang Podi's own plan was to dig out all the fairy herbs and herbs over 10,000 years in the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, and talk about other things later. He couldn't leave them here and let others get away with it. According to the method of digging herbs, Yang Podi began to dig. Kirantong Xianju, dug away. Xiangxi Duanhong, dug away. Kinluo Tulip, dug away. King Kong Luhangul, dug away. Dilang Jingua, dug away. Crystal Jade Muscle Bone, dug away. Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower, dug away. Such a Big Snow Silkworm, dug away. Cinnabar Lotus, dug away. Longzi Leaf, dug away. Hunan Xiangkao, dug away. Moi Shinsu, dug away. Xingluo Lingzhu, dug away. After spending a full hour, the entire Binghuo Liangine eyes were 10,000 years. The above spiritual medicines or immortal herbs have been dug up almost, and only a few have not been dug up. Of course, as a person familiar with pharmacology, he naturally left the roots. At this time, Dad Yang Zhenshin also woke up from the intoxication of the fragrant kilo immortal products. When Yang Zhenshin looked at the situation in the eyes of the yin-yang of ice and fire, the whole ground was like it had been gnawed by a dog, with pits and holes everywhere. Although there were still many plants on the ground, they were all 1,000-year-old, and there were no particularly expensive immortal products. Son, why did you dig up all these immortal herbs? You know, these things are priceless. Yang Podi was still digging seriously. After digging, he put them directly into the jade box and immediately stored them in his soul guide. Dad, if these immortal herbs are placed here, if they are not dug, if they are discovered by others, wouldn't it be a bargain for others? But, son, you dug too cleanly, this is already good. I didn't dig up all the 1,000-year-old herbs. I will keep them for the family in the future. And I left the roots, which can be regarded as a legacy for the family in the future. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin was speechless. His son actually dug up all the immortal products, and then left some of the lower value for the family to use. Isn't it a bit too much? When Yang Podi finished digging all the immortal herbs, he came to his father. Yang Zhenshin was a little serious at this time. Son, why did you dig so many immortal herbs? What is your plan, Dad? You should know the value of these immortal herbs. If the news is leaked, our Poi clan will face a catastrophe. What does this have to do with you digging them all? Dad, we are a family. As for other people, we still have to be careful. After all, people's hearts are hidden. Yang Zhenshin seemed a little angry when he heard this. Son, I don't allow you to say this about the members of our Poi clan. They have all sacrificed their lives for the family. Many people have even dedicated their lives to the family. I know they have made contributions to the family, but aren't there still many high-year herbs here? Yang Zhenshin took a look at the remaining herbs around him and was speechless. Why is his son like a Pixiu? Chapter 39 Dividing the Immortal Herb. After Yang Zhenshin thought about it carefully, his expression became serious, and the father and son sat together to start communicating. Son, tell me about your plan. Dad, you should also know the value of these immortal herbs. Now that we father and son have discovered them, they belong to us father and son, to our family. Not to the entire Poi clan. Then what do you plan to do? I plan to collect all the immortal herbs, and this fragrant and beautiful immortal herb will be used as the family's treasure. Don't tell anyone how much we have in our hands, including the two grandfathers. Then select one for the two grandfathers, Dad, and Mom to use first, and save the rest, later. After we have used the immortal herbs, we will sort out everything inside the yin-yang eyes of fire and ice, and let Mom come here in person to deal with this entrance and make a secret door out. Don't let anyone know except our family of 5. If possible, it would be better to build a mechanism to prevent outsiders from breaking in. After hearing this, Yang Zhenshin was silent for a long time. Son, you have grown up, and your approach is very good, but if you don't tell your grandfather the specific news, isn't it a bit inappropriate, Dad? Grandpa has very good relationships with many people, and they are even like brothers. I'm afraid that Grandpa will not be able to help but tell others, or he will not be able to help but give the magic grass to other people. Are you worried about the other 3 clans of the 4 single attribute families, Dad? You should also know that since the battle with the Haotian Sect, although our 4 single attribute families have left the Haotian Sect, each family has a different attitude. We, the Poi clan, hate the Haotian Sect and Tang Hao very much. It can be said that we will completely cut off ties in the future. But the other 3 clans are not like this. Grandpa Bei of the Min clan is the uncle of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. For them, the Haotian Sect is inseparable. Grandpa Titan, the patriarch of the Power clan, has always regarded Tang Hao as a benefactor, and it is estimated that it will be difficult for him to give up. As for Grandpa, I don't know what his specific attitude is. If they know that we have the magic grass, I'm afraid the consequences will be very serious. Especially if the people in the Haotian Sect find out, our Poi clan will not be able to be saved at all. As for our family members, after all, there are many people and many mouths, and the relationship between the magic grass is too great. As long as a little bit of it is revealed, it will be a disaster for our Podi clan. Of course, Yang Podi didn't say another word. Although the Podi clan is a family, conflicts are prone to arise within the family. The magic grass should be kept in the hands of our own direct descendants. You can see that there are many factions within the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, and even the clan leader's son Yu Xiaogang was forced out of the family. After hearing this, Yang Zhenshin thought for a long time, and finally sighed. Son, you have thought very comprehensively, and doing so is the best choice for the family. However, son, what kind of magic herbs do you plan to use for me, your mother, and the 2 grandfathers? Dad, you are already a soul saint now, and I think this 9th grade dragon Ganoderma is a good choice. The 2 grandfathers are already soul Douluo. So I think I should use the 10,000 years Ginseng King on them, so that they should have a chance to break through to the title Douluo. Mom's martial soul is the plate armor giant rhinoceros, and I think the earth attributed earth dragon golden guard is good. As for the elders of the family, I suggest using this 9th grade purple Ganoderma to refine medicine and give each of them a portion of the pill. They should all be able to break through to the soul Douluo as soon as possible, and even have the hope of becoming a title Douluo. Dad, what do you think of my distribution, son? I have to say that the knowledge of refining medicine you have learned in the past 2 years has not been in vain. This distribution is indeed good, but why do you keep so many magic herbs in your hand? I want to use the magic herbs as heirlooms, and I have to prepare a portion for Ping'an and Dianyu in advance. So what kind of magic grass do you plan to take? Dad, I need your help. The 9-leaf sword grass is surrounded by sword energy. I can't take it down by myself. I have to trouble you to help me take it down. And I think Wangchun Autumn Water Dew is good for me. I'll keep it for later absorption. After hearing this, Yang Zhenshin couldn't help but laugh and scolded. You are quite good at choosing. The 9-leaf sword grass is the most suitable for our family. But at your age now, can you use it? Don't worry, my physical fitness is still very good now. Son, you are very thoughtful, but there is still a small problem now. Yang Podi was a little strange. Logically speaking, his allocation and plan were very good. How could there be a problem? Seeing the confusion on his son's face, son, you are a great soul master now, only level 22. These magic herbs are too precious. It's not safe to keep them on you. Why don't you let your dad keep them for you? Don't worry, I will pass them on to you in the future. Hearing this, Yang Podi's face turned black. How could his father do this? He actually wanted to take away everything he had. After a discussion between the two, they decided to keep all the immortal herbs separately. Yang Podi had no choice but to take out all the immortal herbs, and then took out a few immortal herbs that he was going to give to his family. As if thinking of something, Yang Podi spoke again. Dad, I think Grandpa can still be trusted. Should I leave one for my grandpa? Yang Zhenshin looked at his son with a smile. Oh, what do you want to leave for your grandpa? And it's best to choose one that is not easy to expose. Dad, I think this 10,000-year-old Earth Ganoderma lucidum is not bad. It is a top-grade Earth attribute herb, and it is not an immortal herb. It can only be regarded as a herb with a high age. It is not hard to find outside. It is not an immortal product. It should not be exposed to Grandpa, you little rascal. Okay, just leave this to your grandpa, but it's better to let your mother give it to your grandpa secretly. Okay, Let's do it. Then, the father and son began to pick some immortal herbs one by one. I'm younger, let me choose first. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin was amused. Okay, son, I'll let you this time. Yang Podi looked at all the jade boxes and first chose the Kilo Tulip Immortal product. Yang Zhenshin immediately chose the Acacia Heartbroken Red. Yang Podi chose the Kirin Tongshan Chrysanthemum again. Yang Zhenshin immediately chose the 8-petal Immortal Orchid. Yang Podi chose the Starry Spirit Pearl. Yang Zhenshin chose the Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower. In this way, the father and son picked and chose, and finally divided up all the immortal herbs. After dividing the immortal herbs, Yang Zhenshin said with a bit of playfulness, "Son, why didn't you pick the 8-angled mysterious ice grass and the fiery apricot? Is it because you don't have enough soul power to pick them?" Hearing this, Yang Podi couldn't help but complain, "Isn't it just relying on the cultivation of the soul saint? You actually despise me, you know, I'm only 8 years old. Dad, don't pick these 2 plants for now. When I become a soul master, I will use them myself, you use them yourself. It will be very dangerous for you. How can a soul master's training be without danger? Okay, let's not pick these 2 plants for now. We'll talk about it later. But if you want, it will be safer when you become a soul sect or even a soul king. Dad, I will seriously consider it." So far, the spoils division meeting was basically over, and the next step was for the 2 of them to take the magic grass. Chapter 49 Leaf Sword Grass. Dad, you should take the immortal product first. The 9th grade dragon Ganoderma is the best among the Ganoderma, and it has dragon attributes. It may even help you evolve your martial soul and help you break through to the soul Douluo level. Okay, then I'll take it first. After Yang Zhenshin finished speaking, he didn't hesitate and sat down to take out the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma. The entire branch of the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma reached a length of 1 foot, and the top reached 1.5 feet. Of course, the dragon Ganoderma leaves next to it had been divided up by the 2 of them, and each of them got dozens of pieces. The 9th grade dragon Ganoderma is the best among the Ganoderma. It is said that it was born by bathing in dragon blood. Ordinary soul masters can greatly enhance their physical fitness by taking it, and even strengthen their bloodline, inherit part of the dragon bloodline, and even mutate their martial souls. It is very suitable for Yang Zhenshin, who is at the soul saint level. It can even be said to be a top-grade immortal grass. Dad looked serious and swallowed the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma mouthful by mouthful. After a while, he swallowed the entire 9th grade dragon Ganoderma into his stomach. I saw that the momentum of my father gradually increased, and his soul power also began to increase. The meridians of his whole body seemed to be changing, and there was even some different aura on his body. Even his skin and body were undergoing transformation. After 5 hours, my father finally absorbed the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma. At this time, my father's momentum was extremely strong, and the whole person seemed to have been tempered. His body seemed to have a hint of crystal clearness. Yang Podi couldn't help thinking, could it be that the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma was really made by bathing in dragon blood? It seems that my father's body has a hint of dragon attributes. Dad, what do you think? Yang Zhenshin suppressed his excitement. I think it's very good. My soul power has now broken through to level 80, and I seem to have endless power. My soul-breaking spear also seems to be evolving. It's a pity. If I use the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma before the Soul King, my martial soul will definitely evolve. Dad, this 9th grade dragon Ganoderma is really good. It's in the Sunset Forest now. How about we hunt for soul rings and go home? Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin shook his head. With my current physical condition, I'm afraid I can absorb soul rings of 70,000 to 80,000 years. I can't beat this level of soul beast alone. I'm afraid I have to ask your 2 grandfathers to help me. Yang Podi couldn't help but give his father a look of contempt. When Tang San was level 80, he could defeat the evil demon killer whale king of 100,000 years. His father was level 80, but he couldn't even beat an 80,000-year soul beast. The gap is a bit big. Fortunately, he didn't follow the family's cultivation route. Have you decided to take this 9-leaf sword grass? You should know that this 9-leaf sword grass is unusual, especially when taking the 9th leaf. It may be more dangerous. Dad, don't worry, I will be fine. If there is a problem, you are still by my side, right? The 9 leaves of the 9-leaf sword grass are as sharp as swords. Legend has it that they can easily cut down everything. Unlike other plants grow in piles, basically with very small gaps. There is no plant within a 1-meter range around the 9-leaf swordgrass, which looks a bit lonely. This is because the 9-leaf swordgrass is born with an invisible Jingjin aura that can strangle the surrounding plants, especially after reaching the 9th leaf. The sword aura reaches the extreme, and ordinary people cannot get close. Although Yang Podi has reached the realm of a great soul master, he is still unable to pick it alone. Yang Zhenshin injected soul power into both hands, and held a jade knife in his right hand. The 9-leaf swordgrass is a top-grade Jingjin attribute that cannot be touched by any iron. After groping for a while, the old man finally picked the 9-leaf swordgrass. Son, absorb it quickly. Remember to pay attention to safety and do it within your ability. Hearing this, Yang Podi nodded, and then began to look at the 9-leaf swordgrass in his hand. The 9-leaf swordgrass had been picked and would no longer have such a sharp aura. The 9-leaf swordgrass is very simple to take, that is, to take its 9 sword-shaped leaves step by step from bottom to top, but there will be a certain pain in the process of taking it, and it can even be said to be a certain danger. When swallowing the first leaf, it was as if an invisible sword energy entered his body and began to cut his skin, and the whole skin began to bleed. After an hour, the skin had completely adapted to this cutting, and the first leaf had been absorbed. Yang Podi began to absorb the second leaf. At this time, it was as if countless tiny sword energies were cutting in his blood, and the whole blood was boiling. After another hour, the boiling blood slowly calmed down, and the second leaf was also absorbed. Then came the third leaf, this time all the muscles in the body. Then came the bones, organs, bone marrow, heart, and brain. As the leaves were gradually absorbed, the time spent was getting longer and longer. When absorbing the 8th leaf, the whole brain was like being in the sword light. The brain and eyes were in great pain, and blood even flowed out of the 7 orifices, especially the eyes, which were almost covered by blood. The 8th leaf took 5 hours to absorb. After the absorption was completed, the eyes seemed to have a trace of sword light, and the whole person became sharp. When Yang Podi picked up the 9th leaf tremblingly, his father's voice came to his ears. Son, don't force it. It may be very difficult to absorb this last leaf. There is no need to absorb it now. Yang Podi ignored his father's voice and put the last leaf directly into his mouth. He had finally made it to the last step. How could he give up halfway? After the 9th leaf entered his mouth, Yang Podi's whole body was like being in a sea of swords, with countless sword lights piercing his body. It seemed that the previous pain would happen again, but the sword light was more dangerous and more fierce. Obviously, the 9th leaf corresponds to his soul. Yang Podi gritted his teeth, carefully feeling the damage of each sword light on himself, feeling every bit of pain, and he himself, like being polished by countless sword lights, gradually became more sharp, stronger, and sharper, as if he was a sword, or a gun. The last leaf took a whole day to absorb. After a day, Yang Podi felt that his whole body was a sword, a peerless gun, and the effects of the 9 leaves were integrated together. 9 nines returned to 1. And it was natural. When Yang Podi opened his eyes, a sword light seemed to shoot out of his eyes, or a gun light, and hit the surrounding stone wall directly, and a smooth cut appeared on the stone wall. It's done, Dad, I finally absorbed it successfully. Yang Zhenshin was also excited. His son could now absorb all the 9-leaf swordgrass, and his future was limitless. Son, how do you feel now? Yang Podi ignored his father's question and summoned his martial soul, the soul-breaking spear, and thrust it forward. The tip of the spear pierced the stone wall, and a large hole appeared on the stone wall. Then he swung the soul-breaking spear vigorously, and something similar to sword energy flew out from the spear blade, and a smooth mirror-like cut suddenly appeared on the stone wall. After using it many times in a row, the wall suddenly became bumpy. Yang Podi waved the soul-breaking spear in his hand continuously, and suddenly felt a burst of fatigue, and his body could not help but fall forward. Seeing this, his father Yang Zhenshin quickly flew to his son's side and supported his son before he fell. Dad, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel so tired? Yang Zhenshin shook his head. Son, you are only at the level of a great soul master now. Your soul power and mental power are relatively low and cannot be used too many times. Eat this piece of dragon fungus leaf to recover first, and then practice slowly later. Yang Podi nodded, took the dragon fungus leaf from his father's hand, and began to recover. Chapter 41, Fragrant and Beautiful Fairy Products. Yang Podi rested for a while before gradually opening his eyes. His father said quickly, Podi, how do you feel now? Is there anything wrong with your body? Yang Podi carefully observed his body. Dad, I'm fine. This 9-leaf sword grass is really good. After I absorbed it, I felt that my body had a better understanding of sword energy and spear power, and my whole body was very smooth. I estimate that the speed of improving my soul power will become faster in the future. Also, my soul power is still level 22, but I always feel that my body seems to have broken through some kind of bottleneck. I shouldn't encounter any bottlenecks in my cultivation in the short term. Yang Podi couldn't help thinking that his body was a bit like the innate sword body in the fantasy novels of his previous life. It was a pity that his martial soul was not a sword, otherwise it would probably improve even more. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin breathed a sigh of relief. Podi, the function of the 9-leaf sword grass is to enhance people's perception of the sword. In fact, from another perspective, it also enhances the Soul Master's perception of the Zhengjin Qi. After the Soul Master absorbs it, both the sword key and the spear will be much better. Your soul-breaking spear martial soul should be sharper, and the Zhengjin Qi on the soul-breaking spear will be stronger. Indeed, I feel that my perception of the soul-breaking spear has deepened, and my combat strength has improved a lot. The two continued to chat for a while, and the father was ready to leave. Yang Podi hurriedly said, Dad, did you forget something? No? I shouldn't have forgotten anything. Did you forget that we have to restore this place to its original state? We can't let others find out that we have the fairy grass on us. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin was speechless. His son was too cautious. Next, the two men dealt with the potholes on the ground. Some of the pits were filled up, and then some weeds or loyer medicinal herbs were planted. After a long day of hard work, the entire yin-yang eye of ice and fire was restored to its original state. Outsiders could not tell that the land had been dug. After finishing the work, Yang Zhenshin took his son's hand and flew out of the cave quickly. Dad, are you really not going to get the 8th soul ring now? Yang Zhenshin rolled his eyes at his son. No, let's go home first. It's better to go home and deal with such an important matter first. I always feel a little uneasy in my heart. It's like a dream these days. Dad, you must remember that you must not tell anyone about these fairy herbs, otherwise there will be big trouble. Yang Zhenshin patted his son's head. Little bastard, I am your dad. Do you still need to teach me this kind of thing? This time it was faster to go back. The two walked out of the Sunset Forest in less than a day. After retrieving the carriage, they went directly back to the Podi clan. As soon as they got home, they were scolded by their mother. Husband, you just went to hunt a 100-year soul beast this time. Why did it take so long? Don't you know that we will be worried? The clan leader almost organized people to look for you. The father and son looked at each other and were speechless. Yang Zhenshin said quickly, Wife, the soul ring of the enemy is really good this time. We spent so much time on it. Even if it is a good soul ring, it won't take so long. And I see that your aura is a little different from before. Did you go somewhere to take risks and search for treasures? The father and son couldn't help complaining in their hearts. Their mother, wife, is too sensitive. No, they have to run away quickly, otherwise she will know. Wife, I just came back now. I want to see my dad and tell him something to prevent him from worrying. Mom, it's really tiring to hunt souls in the Sunset Forest this time. I'll go back and rest first. The father and son spoke at the same time, and then they ran away before Niu Jinfeng could react. Yang Podi returned to his room and fell asleep. The time in Sunset Forest was indeed a bit long, and he was always on edge, which made him a bit tired. Yang Zhenshin found his father and second uncle, and without saying anything, he took them directly to the secret room. Yang Wudi was a little confused. Zhenshin, what do you want to talk about in the secret room? It's so mysterious. Seeing Yang Wudi's puzzled expression, Yang Zhenshin took out the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product from the Soul Guide without saying a word. When Yang Wudi saw the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product, he grabbed it without saying a word, and Yang Wushuang also came over immediately. The two looked at the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product as if they were looking at a rare treasure. They began to tremble all over, and their hands kept shaking, as if they had met their most beloved woman. In this way, the two kept observing and stroking the Yaoxiang Kilo Immortal product, and they refused to let go for a long time, like crazy. After a full hour, the two woke up and returned to normal. Zhenshin, how did you get this fragrant and beautiful fairy product? There won't be any problems, right, Dad? Second uncle, I found this fragrant and beautiful fairy product in the Sunset Forest. This time, I went to hunt for spirit rings with Podi and found it in a poisonous fog. Seeing that the two were still confused, Yang Zhenshin described in detail the process of obtaining the spirit ring this time, including finding the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, etc. As for the fairy products on his body, he did not tell them. When hearing the two people's experience that day, Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang were extremely surprised, especially when he heard that the two had found the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. He was even more excited. His grandson is really a lucky star. Hunting for a spirit ring actually brought such a big surprise. When the two were in a hurry to go to the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, they were stopped by Yang Zhenshin. Yang Zhenshin told all his son's plans, and also took out 2,000-year-old ginseng kings, earth dragon golden melons, 9th grade purple Ganoderma and 10,000-year-old earth Ganoderma. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang both fell silent. After thinking for a long time, they spoke. Zhenshin, your plan is very good. There are some things that do need attention. You are now the young patriarch of the Poi clan, and you will be the patriarch of the Poi clan in the future. Just follow your plan. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin also breathed a sigh of relief. Dad, second uncle, in this case, you should absorb this 10,000-year-old ginseng king first. I will ask Jinfeng to come over to discuss it later. The four of us are going to go to the Sunset Forest again together. There may be more things to do in the Sunset Forest this time. Now I am level 80. And I still have to get spirit rings. Zhenshin, I remember you were only level 76 some time ago, and now you are level 80. Did you eat something in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire? Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin knew that he could not hide it. Dad, I also found a 9th grade dragon Ganoderma and 9-leaf sword grass in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. I ate the 9th grade dragon Ganoderma, and Podi ate the 9-leaf sword grass. Hearing this, Yang Wudi was a little angry. Nonsense, you two are really nonsense. The 9th grade dragon grass is indeed suitable for you, but Podi is only 8 years old. How can he withstand the Jengjin Ki of the 9-leaf sword grass? Do you know how dangerous this is? His elder brother was really angry. Yang Wushuang hurriedly persuaded, brother, don't be angry. Podi still knows what to do. Didn't he succeed this time? I'm just afraid that Popo will take risks again next time. This kid is so bold. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42, Dealing with the Yin-Yang Eyes of Ice and Fire. After some discussion, Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang began to absorb the 2,000-year-old ginseng kings. The two couldn't help but praise the 1,000-year-old ginseng kings. The length of the 1,000-year-old ginseng kings reached 1 foot, well, thicker than white radish. The two took their own 1,000-year-old ginseng kings and chewed them like radishes. After some practice, their abilities were improved by 2 levels. The soul power of both of them reached level 83, but Yang Wudi felt that he would soon break through to level 84. After eating the 10-year-old ginseng king, his body's ki and blood returned to the peak state. The whole person's blood was like boiling, and the soul power became more condensed. In addition, the family now has the Yaoxiang Kilo fairy product. Within 10 years, both of them have the hope of breaking through to the title Douluo. By then, the Po clan will truly rise. The next day, Yang Zhenshin brought his wife Niu Jinfeng to the secret room. Yang Zhenshin also described the situation of the soul hunting in detail to his wife, including the discovery of the ice and fire yin-yang eyes. Of course, the specific plot has been modified by him. Then he took out the earth dragon gourd that he had prepared for his wife in advance. After Niu Jinfeng took the earth dragon gourd, he agreed without saying a word and absorbed the earth dragon gourd on the spot. His soul power was also raised to level 70. The most exaggerated thing was that his martial soul had evolved. The original martial soul was a plate armor giant rhinoceros, but it actually evolved into an ancient dragon rhinoceros, and its strength was also greatly enhanced. Early in the morning of the third day, after Niu Jinfeng handed her daughter to the care of her fellow tribesmen, Yang Wudi, Yang Wushuang, Yang Zhenshin and Niu Jinfeng left the Po clan and headed straight for the Sunset Forest. As for Du Gubo and Du Guzin who came to see the doctor, their conditions have stabilized and they have left now. The two sides communicated with each other and would come to the Po clan for treatment as soon as possible if there were any more problems. This time, the four did not take a carriage, but directly activated their soul power and ran quickly. When the four came to the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, Yang Wushuang and Yang Wudi were stunned. From now on, this would be the foundation of the Po Yi clan. Niu Jinfeng was thinking about the renovation plan of the cave entrance. After several considerations, he finally decided to bury the entire cave entrance with boulders, and opened a small secret door in the gap, and also added several ventilation holes. At the same time, the boulder and the stone wall of the cave entrance were connected with building materials, as if they were a whole. Then, the covered boulder was directly processed and some plants were planted all over the boulder. In this way, the entire yin-yang eye of ice and fire was completely covered. Even if you look closely at it, you can't find the difference. The boulder and the whole mountain are like a whole, and it looks like an ordinary hill. The secret door has been specially processed, and outsiders can't find it at all. At the same time, a mechanism and a secret lock are set up. Without mastering the method and key to open the mechanism, it is impossible to open the door. After a few days of processing, the renovation of the entire yin-yang eye of ice and fire has been completed. In the past few days, the brothers Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang have been carefully processing the medicinal materials in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Many medicinal materials and poisonous herbs were directly dug away by the two of them. They also planned the yin-yang eye of ice and fire and replanted many medicinal herbs. When the two finished their work, Yang Zhenshin was directly captured by his father and second uncle. Son, tell me the truth, what did you and Podi find in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire? We are a family of alchemy, and we know better than anyone whether this oil has been disturbed. Yang Zhenshin was speechless. Dad, second uncle, we really didn't find anything. Didn't we give you all the good things? Yang Wudi was immediately furious. You unfilial son, I'm your father, and I won't rob you. I just want to take a look. Why, is that not okay? Although Yang Zhenshin wanted to say it, he still held back. Dad, I really don't have any more. I gave all the good things I got to everyone. Son, don't think I don't know. The yin-yang eye of ice and fire is one of the greatest fortunes in the world. There should be countless immortal herbs in it. How come you only took out a few now? Yang Zhenshin was distressed for a while, and suddenly his eyes flashed and he thought of a solution. Dad, I really don't have any fairy items on me. When I got the Yaoxiang kilo fairy item, I fell into a crazy state like you. At that time, your grandson seemed to have dug up a lot of things and left. I don't know what they are, but it seems to be quite valuable. Yang Zhenshin decisively sold his son. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang loved their grandson very much. They couldn't rob their grandson's things, right? What did you say? The things are in Podi's hands. How can a little kid like him keep such valuable things? What if it is robbed? How do you do things as a father? Zhenshin, go back and find my grandson and ask him to take it out first. We will just observe it and won't use it. We will return it to him in the future. Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin couldn't help complaining. It was so hard to pass the blame to his son, but it came back to him in a blink of an eye. However, seeing the look on his father and uncle's faces, he probably wouldn't be willing to accept it, so he had no choice but to say, Dad, second uncle, let's go back first and talk about it. It took a total of 5 days, including the processing of herbs and the camouflage of the cave entrance. 5 days later, the four were ready to leave the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. From now on, the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire will be unique to the Po Yi clan, or to say, the Po Yi clan's direct lineage, and the Po Yi clan will stand firm in the future. This will also become the biggest secret of the Po Yi clan. Niu Jinfeng also got out 3 secret door keys, one for Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang, one for her husband, and one only for her son, which made Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang speechless. The next step was to hunt for spirit rings. The four searched in the sunset forest for a few days and finally found suitable spirit rings for Yang Zhenshin and Niu Jinfeng. Since both of them absorbed the immortal herbs, their physical fitness was greatly improved, and the spirit rings they selected were also of a higher age. Yang Zhenshin found a 70,000-year-old red ghost white tiger, and Niu Jinfeng found an iron-armored demon bear that was more than 40,000 years old. The soul beasts they chose were very suitable for their attributes. The red ghost white tiger has extremely strong attack power, and the iron-armored demon bear has amazing defense power. The strength of both of them has been greatly improved. Among them, Yang Zhenshin reached level 82, and Niu Jinfeng reached level 73. Obviously, Niu Jinfeng did not show it because there was more energy in the Earth Dragon Golden Melon, because he did not absorb the soul ring. It's a pity that neither of them got the soul bone. So far, there have been 3 soul Douluos in the Po Yi clan, And there are also 7 soul saints, and the overall strength has been greatly improved. Especially when the other soul saints have eaten the elixir refined by the 9th grade purple mushroom, their strength will show a blowout development. After hunting the soul rings, the 4 began to return to the Po Yi clan. Chapter 43 Immortal Product Follow-up. When the 4 of them returned to the Po Yi clan, they started to busy themselves with their own things. Yang Zhenshin had disappeared for more than a month. After all, he was the young clan leader and had many things to deal with. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang needed to deal with the herbs they had picked, and they also needed to plan how to deal with the 9th grade purple fungus in their hands. After Niu Jinfeng returned home, she immediately took her little daughter back, obviously loving her very much. Then she secretly took Yang Podi into the secret room. Podi, the medicine garden that you and your father found has now been dealt with by me. The entire medicine garden has been hidden and no one should find it again. This is the key to enter and exit. You must keep it carefully in the future. I only made 3 keys, one is with your father and one is with your 2 grandfathers. If you want to get in, you need to open a special mechanism. I will now teach you how to open the mechanism and other precautions. Then Niu Jinfeng described to Yang Podi the current location and hiding method of the ice and fire eyes in detail, and explained how to open the mechanism. Son, I heard that you found the medicine garden this time, and you found precious earth dragon golden melon for your mother, and found 10,000-year-old earth ganoderma for your grandfather. You are worthy of being my son. I have not loved you in vain. Now I am a level 73 soul saint. Next time I go to hunt soul rings, I will take you there, Mom. These are all small things. You should also keep the location of the medicine garden secret in the future. Silly child, do you still need to teach me these things? I may have seen more things than you. The 2 continued to communicate for a while before leaving the secret room. These days, Yang Podi always felt that the immortal herbs in his hand were not safe. If they were placed in a soul guide, it would be troublesome if someone took them all. So he secretly found a way to get another soul guide. This soul guide was relatively small and could be kept close to the body. Yang Podi put all the precious immortal herbs into this small soul guide. The current waste protection soul guide only contains some ordinary herbs, and at most some 10,000-year-old tonics, including 10,000-year-old earth yam, 10,000-year-old white peony, snow silkworm, cinnabar lotus and the like. After lunch that day, Yang Podi continued to come to his grandfather's alchemy room to learn about alchemy. He thought that his father and 2 grandfathers were there. He originally thought that they would have something to deal with and planned to leave alone, but they stopped him. Yang Zhenshin said, Son, last time we went to the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, when I was obsessed with the Yaoxiang Kilo Fairy product, you seemed to have dug up a lot of good things. How about taking them out and letting your 2 grandfathers have a look? Yang Podi couldn't help but complain in his heart when he heard this. Dad, did you sell the news that I have fairy herbs? If I take the things out, with the personalities of the 2 grandfathers, it would be a ghost if they could get them back. Fortunately, they were prepared in advance. Dad, didn't I take out all the things I dug out? What I have left now are just some ordinary medicinal materials. The faces of the 3 people were dark when they heard this, especially Yang Zhenshin. He knew what good things his son had. Now his son actually denied it directly. How could he explain to his father? Yang Wudi couldn't help it. Podi, just take it out. Grandpa will take a look. Yang Podi heard this and thought to himself. It seemed that his father didn't say the specific things. Thinking of this, his eyes turned. Grandpa, this is my soul guide. You take a look. I gave all the other good things to my father. I remember he said that my strength was too low at that time, so he would keep them for me first. After that, Yang Podi took out a lot of jade boxes from the soul guide. There were indeed many rare spiritual medicines, but there was no trace of any fairy grass. However, among the spiritual medicines taken out, there were actually 10,000-year-old smilax glabra and white peony, as well as such a big snow silkworm and cinnabar lotus, which looked dozens of times larger than those on the market, and seemed to be spirits. Yang Podi even took out the wristband soul guide directly, as if you can search it yourself. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang looked at the wristband soul guide carefully. There was indeed nothing extra, and then they turned their heads to look at Yang Zhenshin. At this time, Yang Zhenshin's face became even darker. He had already passed the blame to his son, but his son was already prepared. He threw the pot back again. At this time, Yang Wudi looked at his son with a dark face. Zhenshin, you unfilial son, I just want to take a look. You won't even do that. When Yang Zhenshin heard this, he couldn't help cursing his son countless times in his heart. This little brat is really too deceiving. Seeing that his father and second uncle looked ready to take action at any time, and seeing that his son looked indifferent, he had no choice but to take out a few jade boxes from the soul guide. Inside were the several immortal herbs that were distributed to him at that time, including Acacia Heartbroken Red, 8-petal immortal orchid and coxcomb phoenix sunflower. As for the others, he didn't plan to take them out. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushui grabbed the jade boxes and carefully observed the immortal products inside. This Acacia Heartbroken Red is indeed a divine treasure among the immortal herbs, and it can be called the king of flowers. It is indeed elegant and luxurious. It is said that it can also bring back the dead and turn bones into flesh. This 8-petal immortal orchid has a soft and mellow medicinal property, is easy to absorb, and can strengthen the body and expel impurities from the body. It is indeed the best among orchids. This coxcomb phoenix sunflower is indeed a fire-attributed immortal product. It has the effect of greatly replenishing the pure yang and can greatly improve the soul power of the user. For fire-attributed soul masters, it is a treasure. The two people holding the 3 immortal herbs couldn't help but praise them. Although they were not as crazy as when they got the Yaoxiang Kilo immortal product, their expressions were also very yearning, a bit like the expression of Zhu Daoluo in the original work, as if they had a fanatical yearning. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang held the 3 immortal herbs and were reluctant to let go. Zhenshin, do you have other immortal herbs in your hand? Take them out and have a look. Don't worry, we won't take yours. Yang Zhenshin couldn't help but complain again in his heart. Don't worry, I'm not worried at all. How can we get these 3 herbs back if we can't get them back? Dad, Uncle, we really only got these 3 immortal herbs. If you don't believe me, just ask Podi. After saying that, Yang Zhenshin looked at his son, and there seemed to be a warning in his eyes. Yang Podi also said, Grandpa, second grandpa, these immortal herbs are really rare. Each one is priceless. How can it be so easy to get? Even if it is the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, it is very good to have so many. Yang Wudi and Yang Wushuang thought for a moment. Immortal herbs are really rare. After all, they can be said to be the fortune of heaven and earth. It is very good to have these few. Zhenshin, your second grandfather and I will study these 3 immortal herbs for a while, and we will return them to you after the study is completed. Without waiting for Yang Zhenshin to react, he put away the 3 immortal herbs. Seeing this, Yang Podi also hurriedly took back his soul guide and the herbs that belonged to him, making the 2 grandfathers laugh. As for his father, his face was as black as the bottom of a pot. This was too much discrimination. His grandson didn't take it, but his own father took it all. When Yang Zhenshin and Yang Podi left the alchemy room, Yang Zhenshin looked a little unhappy. Podi, I was tricked by you this time. How are you going to compensate me? Give me one of those immortal products you hid. Yang Podi didn't spoil his father. Dad, what are you talking about? The 2 grandfathers just took it for research for a while and will return it to you soon. Don't worry about that. After that, he left without looking back. Chapter 44 Douluo Ain's Visit. It seems that the ordinary days have returned. After class this morning, Yang Podi and his family prepared to eat. As a result, when his father came back, he actually brought back a little girl. The little girl was about the same height as Yang Podi, about 1.5 meters, with short dark purple hair. She looked very heroic. She couldn't be said to be very beautiful, but she had a kind of enchanting charm. A pair of green eyes, very strange, gave people a bit of a weird feeling. When Yang Podi saw this little girl, he always felt that she was a little familiar. It was estimated that this little girl was about 10 years old. She looked like a beauty. In fact, her figure was a little enchanting and exquisite. Podi, Pingan, let me introduce you. This child is Du Guyan. His father and grandfather are now coming to our Po Yu clan for medical treatment. You will all live in our home, and you all should get along well with each other. Yang Zhenshin then introduced his own children, Yan Yan, and this is my wife Niu Jinfeng. You can just call her aunt from now on. These little ones are all my children. They are Yang Podi and Yang Pingan. They are both 8.5 years old. You can get to know each other. After that, he pointed at the 2-year-old Yang Xianayu. This is my daughter Yang Xianayu. She is 2 years old this year. Yang Pingan and Yang Podi hurriedly greeted them. Hello, my name is Yang Podi. I am 8.5 years old this year. Hello, my name is Yang Pingan. I am 8.5 years old this year. The little girl seemed a little arrogant. 2 little friends. My name is Du Guyan. I am 10.5 years old this year. Seeing that the two sides did not seem to be very friendly after greeting each other, Niu Jinfeng quickly pulled Du Yan over. Yan, ignore these two little bastards, just treat this place as your home from now on. At this time, Yang Podi thought to himself, this little girl turned out to be Du Yan. Logically, she seems to be 7 years older than Tang Sen, but she actually came to my Poi clan. Could it be because she came here for treatment with her father Du Guzan? According to the plot of the original work, Du Yan should soon go to Xiandao Royal Academy to study, and then meet Yu Xianheng and become a couple. Du Yan and Yu Xianheng are both grandchildren of title Douluo. They are a bit compatible in terms of status, but I don't know if the two families have a bit of political marriage? Or Du Gubo simply wants to find a backer for Du Yan. After all, Du Gubo himself knows his situation and may die of poison at any time. Du Yan is only a 10-year-old child now, so Yang Podi is not interested in her. However, his mother Niu Jinfeng is very kind to Du Yan. So Du Yan temporarily settled down in his own home. The next morning, Yang Podi and Yang Pingan began to practice spearmanship in the backyard martial arts training ground. Since becoming a great soul master, Yang Podi began to add weights to his body, and he basically never took them off except for the time of medicinal bath and shower, even when sleeping. He wore 5 kilograms wrist guards on each of his limbs, and last time he directly carried a 30-kilogram chest armor, with a total weight of 50 kilograms. At first, I was a little uncomfortable, but after climbing the mountain with the weights many times, I have gradually gotten used to it. Especially after each medicinal bath. I always feel that my physical fitness seems to have become stronger, and my own martial arts spirit seems to have a tendency to become stronger. After seeing Yang Podi's training method, Yang Pingan, the younger brother, just got his first soul ring, and he also got himself a set of weights, but they were much lighter than Yang Podi's, and he was exhausted every day. There are all kinds of guns in the training ground, all of which are made according to the appearance of the Po Yi clan's soul-breaking gun, but the weights are different, and all the gun blades are unsealed, in order to protect the safety of the two children. Since the awakening of the martial soul, after 2 years, Yang Podi has basically mastered the basic moves of gun techniques, especially the stabbing gun technique and the piercing gun technique, which he has mastered very well. After all, these two basic gun techniques are similar to the gun techniques of the Po Yi clan. By now, Yang Podi has basically mastered the family's soul-breaking gun technique, and he can use it in a decent way. After practicing the basic gun technique every morning, Yang Pingan always likes to ask Yang Podi for advice. He originally wanted to refuse, but he thought that martial arts training still needs to be based on practice, and he can't really improve by practicing alone, so every morning the two of them would exchange gun techniques. Yang Pingan used a normal-sized soul-breaking gun. At his age, he can only use a soul-breaking gun weighing about 30 kilograms. Yang Podi prefers to use heavy guns. Whether in practice or in battle, he likes to use guns weighing more than 100 jin. After becoming a great soul master, he even uses guns weighing more than 200 jin, because he has a weight on his body. You should know that Yang Podi's martial soul has reached nearly 300 jin, which is also one of the effects of continuously absorbing power-type soul rings. However, Yang Podi basically wins every time they compete. Although the heavy gun is a little lacking in flexibility, it is stronger in strength and momentum. Especially the power. Every time facing his attack, Yang Pingan needs to desperately resist or dodge. As long as the two people's bombardment collides, it will cause a shock effect on Yang Pingan's hands. Just when the two were practicing more vigorously, Du Yan came over from nowhere, and seemed to be a little interested in watching the fight between the two. It was not until the end of the competition that she became a little bored. Yang Podi and Yang Pingan also greeted, Sister Yanayan, good morning. Du Yan seemed to be a little interested in these two children who had been practicing gun skills since early. Yang Podi, Yang Pingan, good morning to you too, Du Yan suddenly asked, why did you two get up so early to practice spears? Shouldn't soul masters focus more on cultivating soul power? Why do you focus more on martial arts, Sister Yanayan? We are weapon soul masters. We still need to practice weapons more often so that we can be familiar with the use of weapon spirits. To be honest, Du Yan became interested. Since you are all soul masters, why don't we have a soul battle? Dad and Grandpa won't let me fight souls with others. It's too boring to practice alone. Don't worry, I won't bully you two. I will fight souls with you two at a time. Hearing this, Yang Podi was speechless. Du Guyan's martial soul is the green phosphorus snake. And basically all of its soul skills are poisonous. Which soul master is willing to fight with a poisoned soul master in the early stage? If you are not careful, your life will be in danger. At this time, my mother Nia Jinfeng also came to the martial arts training ground, but she looked like she was just watching the fun. To defeat the enemy, you can have a duel of spirits with Yan Yan. Don't worry, with me here, no one will be in danger. Du Guyan seemed to be quite confident, and, let me fight with them too. Don't worry, I will control my poison well. Hearing this, Niu Jinfeng and the other two looked at Du Guyan strangely. Where does this girl get the confidence to fight two people alone? Chapter 45, Du Guyan. After the three of them were silent for a while, Niu Jinfeng finally spoke. Yan Yan, you should try to fight with Podi first. If you win, you can fight two of them one-on-one. Du Guyan seemed to be full of confidence. Okay. Then I will beat Yang Podi first, and then fight with you two. After that, he walked directly to the martial arts training ground, looking very relaxed, as if he was really facing two children. Yang Pingan hurriedly left the martial arts training ground, approached Niu Jinfeng and began to prepare to watch the fight, looking like he was watching a good show. Du Guyan and Yang Podi were the only two people on the martial arts training ground. Du Guyan started to introduce his martial spirit and spirit power like a little adult. Du Guyan, martial spirit is the jade phosphorus snake, and I am a level 21 controlled type great spirit master. Please teach me. Seeing this, Yang Podi also started to introduce himself. Yang Podi's martial spirit is the soul-breaking spear, and I am a level 22 strong attack type great spirit master. Please teach me. Du Guyan seemed a little surprised when he heard this. Yang Podi, you are already level 22? How is this possible? Yang Podi couldn't help thinking in his heart. Du Gu is now 10.5 years old, which means he will be 11 years old in half a year. He is only level 21 now. According to this development, after another year and a half of training, he will be at most level 25 to 26, which barely meets the standard for joining Shrek. Yu Xian Heng of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family is probably about the same, but both Du Guyan and Yu Xian Heng are already geniuses. After all, they are both trained by the two major families. From this, we can see what kind of talent Shrek has recruited. Even Zhu Ziuking, who has the lowest soul power, may be able to serve as the captain of a strong team after a soul master competition. Yang Podi ignored Du Guyan's surprise and directly summoned his martial soul, the soul-breaking spear. Then two yellow soul rings flashed under his feet, which was the strength of a great soul master. Seeing this, Du Guyan on the opposite side also immediately summoned his martial soul, the green phosphorus snake, and two yellow soul rings also appeared under his feet. Yang Podi carefully observed Du Guyan's martial soul. It seemed that there was a green phosphorus snake covering the whole body, and it could control the snake's swing and attack. Is this the difference between beast martial soul and weapon martial soul? At this time, Mother Nia Jinfeng seemed to become a referee. Both sides have finished summoning martial souls, and the game begins. Du Guyan's AO was seen controlling a green phosphorus snake, and the snake had quickly pounced on Yang Podi, like a prey. Yang Podi directly waved the soul-breaking spear in his hand and stabbed the flying green phosphorus snake. The green phosphorus snake and the soul-breaking spear collided with each other. At this time, Yang Podi's soul-breaking spear Wuhan weighed 300 jin, and the spearhead was very sharp, which directly pierced a hole in the green phosphorus snake. Du Guyan seemed to be in pain. The green phosphorus snake directly spurted out a dark green gas from its mouth and quickly attacked Yang Podi. Obviously, this was the green phosphorus snake's own life poison. Yang Podi held the soul-breaking spear with both hands and used a spear stabbing method. He stabbed forward with force. And suddenly a spearlight pierced the dark green gas directly. Then he quickly flew forward and headed straight for Du Guyan on the opposite side. Seeing this, Du Guyan seemed to have a smile on his face. The tail of the green phosphorus snake flew towards Yang Podi quickly, like a whip. Yang Podi was not surprised at all, nor did he have the slightest intention of retreating. Instead, he swept the soul-breaking spear directly at the tail of the green phosphorus snake, instantly knocking the green phosphorus snake's tail away. Before Du Guyan could react, he swung the soul-breaking spear again, using the spear-splitting technique to directly split the poison gas around Du Guyan's body. Then, the spear blade was already against Du Guyan's neck. The soul-breaking spear of the Poi clan focuses on the word breaking, which is actually stabbing. and the basic spear technique that Yang Wudi learned himself is more all-encompassing. In addition to stabbing, there are also sweeping, splitting, twisting, picking, blocking, etc., which will be more comprehensive. This is also the reason why Yang Wudi has been insisting on adding a power-type spirit ring. Because this way the attack and defense are more comprehensive, and it will be more powerful in the later stage. Top masters like Tang Chen and Jin Daoli rarely use spirit skills, and more of them are some basic skills and self-created spirit skills. But Tang San's Sigurd Trident reached 108,000 Jin, which is also the fundamental reason why Tang San can fight Bibi Dong as soon as he entered the title Douluo. Du Yuyan's face was pale at this time. She didn't expect that she would lose so easily and so quickly. Du Yuyan's first two soul skills were the green phosphorus red poison and the paralysis poison. The green phosphorus red poison is an excitatory poison that stimulates the nerves and increases the attack power and speed by 20%. The second soul skill is the paralysis poison, which eliminates the pain of teammates and increases the defense by 30%. It has basically no effect on single combat. It can be said that she has already used all her strength just now. Yang Wudi did not use any soul skills from beginning to end, and even used the spear only once. It can be said that she easily won with less than half of her strength. Yang Wudi took back his soul-breaking spear martial spirit. Sister Yanayan, I'm sorry, you lost? Du Yuyan also felt a little incredible. I actually lost so quickly, to a child 2 years younger than me. Yang Wudi glanced at Du Yuyan and couldn't help shaking his head. Du Yuyan is just a little girl who has never seen the world, never understood the competition of soul masters, and has never suffered any setbacks. Just as Yang Wudi was about to leave, Du Yuyan spoke again. Wait, don't leave yet, let's fight again. I don't believe you can beat me so quickly. Yang Wudi was speechless for a moment. His soul was already that of an adult, so how could he be entangled by a little girl? Sister Yanayan, don't forget, I didn't use any soul skills just now. After Yang Wudi finished speaking, he left without looking back. He still had to study, so he didn't have time to pay attention to her. After hearing what Yang Wudi said, Du Yuyan seemed to understand something. This kid could defeat himself without even using soul skills, so how strong could he be? After breakfast, Yang Wudi and Yang Pingan were ready to go to class. And Du Yuyan seemed to be a little curious about Yang Wudi, so she followed Yang Wudi to class. Originally, since he became a great soul master, Yang Wudi didn't want to go to class, especially the theory class, but after being educated by his parents and the teacher, he had no choice but to give in. However, during the class, Yang Wudi spent more time meditating. He had already learned the knowledge taught by the teacher by reading books. In this way, Du Yuyan followed Yang Wudi and Yang Pingan for a whole day. At dinner time, she couldn't help but say, Yang Wudi, shouldn't we soul masters focus on improving our soul power? Why don't you spend any time meditating? Is it useful for you to exercise like this? Sister Yanayan, I meditate in my room every night. Although we are soul masters, our body is our foundation. Only when the body is stronger, the effect of meditation will be better. Especially after exercising and taking a medicinal bath every afternoon, the effect of meditation will be better. Then don't you have other activities on weekdays? For example, shopping, playing, and hanging out with friends. As a soul master, I think strength is the most important. We are still young now, and it is the best time to exercise. If you want to play, there will be plenty of time in the future. After hearing this, Du Yuyan was a little speechless. Is this a child? It's just a monster. Chapter 46, A Day in the Life of Du Yuyan. The next morning, when Yang Wudi and Yang Pingan got up to practice spearmanship, Du Yuyan also came, leaving them speechless. Seeing the surprised looks of the two, Du Yuyan was a little arrogant. Why, only you two can do it? Can't I practice too? Yang Wudi couldn't help shaking his head, picked up his usual iron spear, and started practicing. Recently, Yang Wudi has completed the practice of basic spearmanship, and now he is ready to learn some relatively more advanced spearmanship, but they are all the Overlord spearmanship, Yu family spearmanship, and Yang family spearmanship, which he only knew the basics of in his previous life. In his previous life, as a layman in martial arts, he only knew some basic moves of these handed-down spearmanship, and even learned many of them from the internet, and didn't know the essence at all, but now he has plenty of time to study and research slowly. Du Yuyan watched the two people practicing spearmanship, but he knew nothing about spearmanship, and he had never even touched a gun, so he had no idea where to start. Finally, Du Yan couldn't help but interrupt the two people's practice. You two stop for a while, don't practice for now. Yang Podi was puzzled. Sister Yan, is there anything? Morning is a good time for exercise, we can't waste it. Can you two teach me how to practice spearmanship? Sister Yan, you are a beast spirit, why do you need to practice spearmanship? It's totally unnecessary. Then you two are practicing spearmanship, what should I practice? Yang Podi thought about it carefully, and it seemed that there was nothing for Du Yan to practice. Then he suddenly remembered that in the original book, Shrek Academy arranged students to run with stones on their backs after admission. Although this kind of exercise can't have any miraculous effect, it still has a certain effect on beast spirits. Du Yan is a beast spirit, and it is a rare control system. Practicing running more will also have certain benefits in the future. Running fast will at least not be so easy to be targeted. Sister Yan, I will teach you a training method. You can take a weight from us and carry it on your back. Run along the entire martial arts training ground, or along the entire Po Yi clan. This is also very effective. Hearing this, Du Yan was puzzled. Running with a weight on your back? Is this useful? I have never heard of this kind of exercise. Weighted running can exercise a person's physical toughness, especially after fatigue. If you take a medicinal bath, exercise and meditation, the effect will be better. All of us in the Po Yi clan carry weights to climb the mountain in the afternoon. How about you go with us in the afternoon? Okay, I'll try it as you said. If it doesn't work, I will trouble you. My sister's poison is very scary. Hearing this, Yang Podi and Yang Ping'an were a little speechless. How could a defeated general be so arrogant? Even in terms of poison, she is not necessarily stronger than the Po Yi clan. In this way, for 2 hours in the morning, Du Yan ran with a weight on her back. Although the weight was relatively small, she was still exhausted and out of breath. When Yang Podi and Yang Ping'an finished their morning shooting practice, Du Yan also stopped running and walked up to the two of them. You two are just practicing shooting. Is this intensity of training okay? Yang Podi and Yang Ping'an just smiled when they heard this. At this time, Yang Ping'an said, Sister Yan, try holding the gun that big brother just practiced, then you will know. Du Yan was puzzled and walked to the gun rack and grabbed the gun that Yang Podi used in the morning. Suddenly, a huge force came from the gun, and her hands were a little unsteady. Why is this gun so heavy? It must be 200 pounds. You have been practicing with this gun all morning. Sister Yan, this gun is indeed exactly 200 pounds, but my brother has a 50-kilogram weight on him. Although I am not that heavy, the weight and the gun together are almost 100 pounds. At this time, Du Yan couldn't help but say, how did you do it? You are only 8 years old. Yang Podi thought for a moment. Exercise, keep exercising, absorb the soul rings of power-type soul beasts. After hearing this, Du Yan couldn't help but complain in his heart. 8 years old. Is this 8 years old? Is this something an 8-year-old can do? Yang Podi ignored Du Yan, but went back to his room alone to take a shower, change into clean clothes, and then prepare to have breakfast. After the family had breakfast, Yang Podi, Yang Ping'an and Du Yan came to the family's primary school and started their morning study. However, throughout the morning, Yang Podi was either reading a book or meditating alone, and basically didn't listen to the class. However, with the arrival of Du Yan, a bunch of children around attracted their attention. Although these children were very young, they were 8 or 9 years old and knew something. They all circled around Du Yan, leaving Du Yan speechless. After learning about alchemy in the afternoon, Yang Podi and his 3-person car started their afternoon exercise. When they first came here, the afternoon exercise was mainly weighted mountain climbing. But according to Yang Podi's plan, many items were added in the afternoon, and it was no longer as monotonous as before. Specifically, it included weighted running, weighted mountain climbing, weighted swimming, weighted frog jumps, etc. After a series of operations, everyone would be exhausted and would rather die than live. This was Du Yan's first time to participate in exercise. First of all, she was determined not to go to the weighted swimming part. She herself was a landlubber, and a girl didn't like to swim in the water. Secondly, as a 10-year-old girl, Du Yan thought she was no worse than a boy, so she chose the same weight as her peers, which was a bit tricky. After only half of the time, she was almost exhausted. In the end, she was helped to the rest area. In the evening, the 3 were brought back home by Niu Jinfen. However, they were so tired that they almost fell down, especially Du Yan, who was so exhausted that he had no strength at all. Niu Jinfeng had to carry him back. After returning home, the three took medicinal baths in their respective rooms, and the things for the medicinal baths had been prepared long ago. As a sole master family, there are still many servants in the family. Several servants are mainly responsible for cooking, boiling water, washing clothes and other chores, while the medicinal baths were prepared by Niu Jinfeng himself. The whole medicinal bath process lasted for half an hour. After half an hour, the three of them recovered some spirits, and the whole family prepared to have dinner together. The dinner was very rich, with soul beast meat, vegetables, staple food, and stew. After the medicinal bath, Du Guyan seemed to have recovered a lot, and the whole person became active, and his body seemed particularly smooth. After dinner, they returned to their own rooms and began today's meditation. At this time, Du Guyan found that today was strange. In the past, I had medicinal baths every day, but after exercising this afternoon, the effect of the medicinal baths was obviously much better than before, and the meditation at night seemed to be much smoother than usual. What was the reason for this? Du Guyan seemed a little confused, but he still suppressed his curiosity and tried to meditate. Chapter 47 3 Major Events. In the following period of time, Du Guyan followed Yang Podi and Yang Pingan to train and study together. Obviously, Du Guyan was also a strong-willed girl. Although the intensity of training was far less than that of Yang Podi and Yang Pingan, she could barely hold on. Niu Jinfeng also went to Yang Podi privately. Son, what do you think of Yanayan? Yang Podi was a little confused. Sister Yanayan is not bad. She is hard-working and has good talent. Although the poison in her body is troublesome, it is not impossible to solve it. Hearing this, Niu Jinfeng was speechless. Son, I am asking about Yanayan's personality. Is she pretty? How do you two feel about getting along with each other? I think she is not bad. Sister Yanayan is a good person. It's quite happy to get along with each other. Then son, have you ever thought about making Yanayan your wife? Mom, what are you talking about? I'm only 8 years old. Isn't it too early to talk about this kind of thing now? It's not too early. Nowadays, many young people get married and have children before they are 20 years old. You don't have a few years left. You have time to think about it. Hearing this, Yang Podi was speechless. Mom, I'm still young, so I won't consider this matter for the time being. In the end, the conversation ended hastily. Yang Podi said that he was too young to think about these things for the time being, and Niu Jinfeng was helpless. After the conversation, Yang Podi thought to himself, according to the original work, Du Guyan was with Yu Shai and Heng, and the two families also wanted to form an alliance. Now that the Poi clan can cure the poisoning problem of the ancestral martial spirit of the Douluo family, could it be that the two families want to form an alliance? He is still young, only 8 years old, and he has not seen so many beauties in the original work, so he seems a little unwilling. 10 days later, Du Guzin took Du Guyan home because the treatment was completed. In the end, Du Guyan was a little reluctant to leave, and she cried like a little girl before leaving, but the two sides agreed to play together often in the future. Time passed quickly, and 3 years passed in a blink of an eye. Yang Podi was already 11.5 years old. Many big things have happened in the past 3 years. First of all, under the treatment of Yang Wudi and Yang Washuang, Du Gubo's poisoning condition has been greatly alleviated. There are almost no sequelae in the short term. Du Gubo also took this opportunity to finally break through to the title Douluo. Since Du Gubo has always been a guest of the Xiandao imperial family, the Xiandao Empire has also begun to have its own title Douluo. However, Du Gubo is particularly unruly. He became a guest of the Xiandao imperial family just to repay Prince Zuxing's help to him. As for how much effort he can contribute at the critical moment, that's hard to say. Du Gubo's own life is very monotonous. He either practices in his own house, or comes to the Po Yi clan to study poisons, or experiences alone in the forest. He can be called a lone ranger. Secondly, the Po Yi clan has also undergone earth-shaking changes. Grandfather Yang Wudi has been promoted to level 86, and the second grandfather Yang Washuang has been promoted to level 85. The two are now almost promoted by one level every year, and they should not encounter any bottlenecks in the short term. My father was even more exaggerated. He actually reached level 85. His soul power increased faster than the two grandfathers. If this situation continues, he will surpass them sooner or later. Now the two grandfathers are under a lot of pressure. If their soul power level is surpassed by their sons or nephews, it will be a bit embarrassing. How can they be the clan leader in the future? Therefore, the two of them have spent more time on cultivation recently, and even spent less time on refining medicine. Douluo, who came to visit, was speechless. What about the agreed research on poison together? Why are you two concentrating on cultivation? Moreover, you didn't practice hard when you were young, but now you are old, you are practicing hard. Isn't this putting the cart before the horse? Although he said so, Douluo didn't like fighting with Yang Wudi and Yang Wudi. These two were fighting crazy, or even fighting abnormal. They were only Douluo soul level, but they couldn't even beat Douluo himself in a battle. Did they really want to establish the reputation of the weakest title Douluo? After some communication between the two grandfathers, the 9th grade purple fungus that was contributed to the family was finally chosen to be used together with many high-value herbs. They even took a lot of herbs from Yang Podi and refined them into elixirs. It is said that on the day when the elixir came out, the two grandfathers were like crazy. 2 of the 6 elders broke through to Soul Douluo, and the other 4 became high-level soul saints. And the speed at which my mother's soul power increased was also very fast, and it could even be said to be a bit exaggerated, because she was already level 79, and she increased by 6 levels in just 3 years. If this speed was spread out, it would scare a lot of people to death. Of course, the two grandfathers also experienced a process of Haotian Sect from prosperity to decline, and understood the consequences of being too popular, so they asked everyone in the clan to start keeping a low profile, especially the addition of 2 new Soul Douluos. This news was completely hidden. These are not the biggest things of the Po clan. The biggest thing of the Po clan comes from the little princess Yang Xianayu. Yang Xianayu has always been very cute, and she is loved by her elders. She likes to hang out with a group of children for a long time. She chases cats and dogs every day, making the whole family restless. She can be called the tyrant of the Po clan. But the elders of the family dote on her very much. Whenever she makes a mistake, as long as she shows that tearful look, they will lightly pass it over, making people reluctant to punish her. Yang Xianayu seems to have a very high talent for guns. At the age of 5, she started to train with Yang Podi and Yang Pingan in the morning. In just 1 year, she has mastered the gun skills, which made Yang Podi and Yang Pingan begin to doubt their own gun training talents. Several elders were even more surprised, especially the second grandfather Yang Wudi, who doted on her even more. He liked to hug her every time, and couldn't help praising her. You are worthy of being my granddaughter, worthy of being the heir of my Yang family, and you will definitely make the Po clan flourish in the future. Yang Podi and Yang Pingan next to them were speechless. This was too much discrimination. Especially when the spirit awakened. Yang Xianayu actually awakened the spirit alone, with only her family present. When the spirit awakened, Yang Xianayu indeed awakened the spirit of the family, the soul-breaking spear, but when she put her hand on the soul test crystal ball, the entire crystal ball was filled with energy. Yang Xianayu was born with full soul power, and this was the only one in the history of the soul-breaking clan with full soul power. Seeing this, her parents and 2 grandfathers became even more excited, as if they had seen the rise of the soul-breaking clan. The 2 grandfathers also had a quarrel, vying to teach Yang Xianayu how to practice, as if they were training Yang Xianayu as their own successor, and the 2 sides almost fought each other. Where was the look of brothers? In the end, it was decided that Yang Xianayu would be trained and educated by 2 people in the future, and her father and mother were speechless, as their daughter's right to education had been taken away. Of course, Yang Xianayu announced to the public that her innate soul power was still at level 9. In order to conceal it, the 2 even deliberately delayed for 2 months before helping Yang Xianayu obtain the soul ring. Moreover, they both took her there at the same time. Even Yang Podi envied this treatment. Chapter 48 Breakthrough Level 30. That night, Yang Podi was alone in his room meditating and practicing. Yang Podi suddenly opened his eyes. It's done, I'm finally level 30. After obtaining a spirit ring at the age of 8.5 and reaching level 22, after nearly 3 years of hard training, he finally reached level 30. The 9-leaf sword grass seemed to have achieved an unexpected effect, that is, it would be easier to break through when encountering a bottleneck. Judging from the speed of improvement, it is nearly 3 levels per year, which is not worse than those with full innate spirit power, and even faster. Yang Podi thought about it carefully. According to the time, he reached level 30 of spirit power at the age of 11.5. The fastest person to reach level 30 in the original book was Tang Sen, who was just 12 years old and reached it when he just joined Shrek Academy. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel that Tang San's talent was really terrifying, or that Xuanchen Guang was really mysterious. He went through a lot of hardships and exceeded the age limit many times to absorb spirit rings, but he was barely a little faster than Tang San. If he counted his later cheating, I'm afraid he couldn't even compare. You have to know that after Tang San graduated from Shrek Academy, he upgraded 17 levels in just 5 years, and upgraded more than 3 levels every year. This speed is a bit scary for the Soul King stage. The next morning, Yang Podi found his parents. Dad, Mom, my soul power is 30 levels. They were a little stunned when they heard this. Breaking through to Soul Master at the age of 11 and a half seems to be the fastest record in history. It seems that no one has broken through to Soul Master before the age of 12. Son, good. You have broken through to the Soul Master level so quickly. How about this? I will take you to get soul rings tomorrow. Have you considered what kind of soul ring you want to get this time? How many years will it take? Hearing this, Yang Podi thought for a moment. Dad, are there any power-type soul beasts that can obtain locking soul skills? Hearing this, the two of them were curious. Son, why do you have such a strange idea? Normally, if it is a locking soul skill, it basically comes from spiritual soul beasts, or a very small number of agile soul beasts, and basically does not appear on power-type soul beasts. Is there none? Not completely none. I wonder if you have heard of the iron-feathered tiger eagle. Iron-feathered tiger eagle? I seem to have seen it, but aren't birds generally agile soul beasts? Bird soul beasts are generally known for their speed, but the iron-winged tiger eagle is an exception. The iron-winged tiger eagle is much larger than ordinary eagle soul beasts and is extremely fast, but it is a power-type soul beast. The feathers on the iron-winged tiger eagle's body are as hard as golden iron, and it is very majestic and powerful. Eagle soul beasts usually lock onto their prey first to obtain food, so a small number of them will obtain locking-type soul skills. However, the iron-winged tiger eagle is very difficult to catch. It has very strong strength, speed and defense. Some people even analyze that the iron-winged tiger eagle may be a mutated tiger. Then where can we find the iron-winged tiger eagle? I don't know about that. There should be some in the starred-out Great Forest, but there shouldn't be many. Generally, few people go out of their way to hunt this kind of soul beast. Okay, Dad, shall we go to the Sunset Forest this time? The Sunset Forest is relatively close, only a few dozen kilometers away from us, and there are indeed a lot of soul beasts in it. You should have seen a lot of them last time, so the two decided to go to the Sunset Forest again the next day to get the third soul ring. But his younger sister Yang Xianai was a little unconvinced, and said in a baby voice, Brother, don't worry, I will definitely surpass you and become the fastest person to break through the soul venerable. Yang Podi couldn't help but complain in his heart, what's going on? He was actually despised by a 6-year-old kid. Yang Pinyin was envious. His elder brother was already level 30, and he was only level 24. The gap was getting bigger and bigger. He had to work harder in the future. According to Yang Podi's estimation, his younger brother Yang Pinyin would be able to reach level 27 when he was 12 years old, not worse than the Shrek 7 devils. As for the two grandfathers, although they were very surprised, they didn't say much. Yang Zhenshin is now a soul Douluo, and it is easy for him to help his grandson get the soul ring. Recently, all their thoughts have been on Yang Xianai, and they are almost becoming granddaughter slaves. Could it be that the saying in the previous life was confirmed? Daughters are the little lovers in the previous life in the eyes of their fathers, and now it has become that granddaughters are the little lovers in the previous life of their grandfathers. The next morning, the two took a carriage to leave the Poi clan and headed for the Sunset Forest. On the carriage, Yang Zhenshin spoke, Son, how many years do you want this time? About 4,000 years. I estimate that I can absorb a 4,000-year-old spirit ring. When I absorbed the second spirit ring that was close to 1,000 years old, I felt that my body could continue to bear it. At that time, my actual bearing capacity should be able to absorb a spirit ring of about 1,200 years. The age of the third spirit ring will not affect the color of the spirit ring, so you can absorb it with confidence. Son, you have to think clearly. Many spirit masters' fourth spirit rings are only 4,000 years old. I am afraid that your body will not be able to bear it by then, and then it will be troublesome. Dad, if you don't believe it, you can try my physical strength. I have been working hard to exercise in the past 3 years, and I take medicinal baths every day, so there will be no accidents. Of course, The most important point that Yang Podi did not say is that he has a second martial soul, the main body martial soul. The biggest advantage of the main body martial soul is that it can greatly improve physical fitness after absorbing the spirit ring, and finally absorb the spirit ring across levels. This is also the fundamental reason why Yang Podi dared to absorb the 4,000-year spirit ring. As for the fourth soul ring in the future, Yang Podi never thought about obtaining the fourth ring of 10,000 years. Although Yang Podi has a body martial soul, even after the ice and fire body refining, his physical fitness may be able to withstand it, but he is not sure to resist a mental shock. In the original work, Tang San cultivated the purple extreme demon pupil since he was a child, and used the Wangchun autumn water dew to evolve the purple extreme demon pupil. Yang Podi has no way to cultivate mental power. Even if his body martial soul is stronger than others, he can't be that strong. Unless he can get a high-year-old top-grade head soul bone, and low-year-old ones are completely despised. Yang Zhenshin carefully checked his son's body and couldn't help but marvel at it. Son, I've been wondering if you're a monster. You're so young but your physique is so strong. Your efforts over the past few years have not been in vain. As for soul beasts, do you have any plans, Dad? Let's talk about the specific soul beasts after we get to Sunset Forest. The year and species alone are already difficult to find. This time, like last time, I must have a power-type soul beast. The stronger the better, the rarer the better. If it's some rare dragon-type soul beast, it would be even better. It would be best if it's a soul beast of the same level that is invincible in power. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49 Return to the Sunset Forest. Entering the Sunset Forest this time was much easier than the last time. After all, Yang Zhenshin was already a soul Douluo, and Yang Podi's soul power had also improved a lot. But no matter what, you still have to be extra careful in the Soul Beast Forest, especially in a large Soul Beast Forest like the Sunset Forest. The two of them wandered around the central area of the Sunset Forest for 7 days, but they didn't find any very good soul beasts. Either the age was not suitable, or the soul beasts were too weak, and neither of them liked them. The most suitable soul beast was an ironclad bear soul beast that was more than 2,000 years old, but Yang Podi disliked it because it was a little too young. As for the iron-feathered tiger eagle that Yang Podi had been thinking about, he didn't even see its shadow, and even saw a few ordinary eagles. That night, Yang Podi, who was a little anxious, couldn't help but said, "Dad, it's difficult to find a suitable soul beast. How about we go to the Xingdao Great Forest to have a look? It is said that there are more soul beasts there." "You silly child, there are a lot of soul beasts in the Sunset Forest. We have actually found a lot of good ones in the past few days, but you just don't like them. Just like the 3,000-year-old ghost tiger we just met, for many people, even as a fourth soul ring it is a top-grade product, and you are still here disdaining it, but there is really nothing too good. If it was a 3,000-year-old dark gold terror claw bear, I would have used it." "Dark gold terror claw bear? Have you seen a dark gold terror claw bear?" "Neither your dad nor I have seen a dark gold terror claw bear, so don't think too much. If there is no dark gold terror claw bear, the Titan giant ape will do." Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin was speechless. "Silly child, do you know what level of soul beast the Titan giant ape is? Legend has it that a Titan giant ape of the 10,000-year level can fight against a 100,000-year-old soul beast. It is also a legendary soul beast. As far as I can remember, Tang Hao is the only one who has a Titan ape spirit ring. I guess other people have never seen a Titan ape. I remember the legend that there is a 100,000-year-old Titan ape in the Stardao Great Forest. Why doesn't anyone go to hunt it, son? Do you know how strong that Titan ape is? An ordinary tidal Douluo is no match for it. It may take a tidal Douluo of level 96 to beat it, and it would take a desperate effort. In the Stardao Great Forest, even a tidal Douluo would easily encounter fatal danger if he was injured. Besides, there is a stronger sky blue bull python behind that Titan ape. Who has the strength to hunt it? Who dares to hunt it? Let's put it this way. If you want to hunt the Titan giant ape, you must prepare at least 4 or more tidal Douluo, and their levels cannot be too low. Otherwise, even if you hunt it down, you won't dare to absorb it. As soon as the Titan giant ape dies, it will immediately attract countless soul beasts. After all, the corpse of the Titan giant ape is a delicious meal for other soul beasts. The problem is where to find so many titled Douluo? Even the top 3 sects can't afford the loss of titled Douluo. Dad, let me ask you another question. You and your 2 second grandfathers are all level 86, and Grandpa is already level 87. What do you think about your 9th soul ring when the time comes? Hearing this, Yang Zhenshin also fell into silence. Dad's 9th soul ring is indeed a troublesome thing. It is estimated that we will go to the Xingdao Great Forest to find a soul beast of about 80,000 years old. It is too old and it is difficult for us to deal with it. And we should ask your grandfather for help. At most, the patriarchs of the 4 single attribute families will go together, but they are already a little overwhelmed to deal with soul beasts of this level. In addition, Senior Douluo should also help. Dad, my grandpa is about to be promoted to title Douluo, right? Yes, your father-in-law is almost there too, maybe a year earlier than your grandpa. He is already 2 levels higher than your grandpa, and the things you chose are indeed very suitable for your father-in-law. We have obtained so many immortal herbs from the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Is there nothing that can increase the lifespan of soul beasts? You little brat, what are you thinking about? How can such precious immortal herbs be used on soul beasts? Even if it is the most suitable immortal herb, it is estimated that it will only increase the lifespan of soul beasts by a few thousand years. The price to pay is too high and it is totally unnecessary. Son, don't think too much about these things. Your grandpa and your 2 grandfathers all have their own plans, and they are probably considering it. After hearing this, Yang Podi was silent for a while. Dad, I recently looked up ancient books, and it seems that it says that the 10,000-year cold marrow is very good for soul beasts and can greatly increase the lifespan of soul beasts. Yang Zhenshin smiled and couldn't help patting his son's head. What are you thinking about? 10,000-year cold marrow is a rare treasure. If you really encounter it, all the major forces will probably go crazy to grab it. You know, whether it is the upper 3 sects or the spirit hall, there are many high-level soul saints and soul Douluo. If there is a 10,000-year cold marrow, they can directly break through to soul Douluo and title Douluo. In my impression, it seems that the entire continent has not seen a 10,000-year cold marrow for hundreds of years. Even 1,000 years is rare. By the way, son, your intuition has always been good. Did you feel intuitively where there is a soul beast suitable for you this time? I think the Titan in the Star Dao Great Forest is actually quite suitable for me, but the age is a little higher. Hearing this, the 2 laughed. The 2 rested quietly for a night and continued to search the next day. The next day, the 2 did not go too far to search, but came directly to a stream, hiding in the bushes next to it, ready to wait and see if there are any suitable soul beasts to come to drink water. At the end of the day, there were indeed quite a few soul beasts that came to drink water. Some of them were very good, especially a very good year-old powerful gorilla, estimated to be around 4,000 years old. Unfortunately, I didn't like it very much and wanted to find a stronger soul beast. At night, Yang Zhenshin seemed to feel that his son was a little impatient. Son, are you a little impatient? Remember, hunting spirit rings is not that easy. Whether it is the age of the spirit beast or the type of spirit beast, there are very large restrictions. It is difficult to find a perfect one, and it is also difficult to find a completely suitable one. Another point is to be patient. Sometimes, in order to hunt a more suitable soul beast, we spirit masters may stay in the soul hunting forest for several months, and your requirements are indeed a bit high. In fact, there were several soul beasts that are more suitable for you during the day, especially the powerful gorilla. Both its strength attribute and age are very good. For many people's 4th spirit ring, it is considered a top-quality one. Dad, I'm not in a hurry, but I feel a little unwilling. Why haven't I encountered a top-quality soul beast? Yang Zhenshin smiled. Son, how can there be so many top-quality soul beasts to encounter? We have also encountered several top-quality soul beasts in the past few days, but the age difference is too big. Yes, in the past 2 days, I really encountered 2 dragon soul beasts, but their ages were either too young or too old, totally unsuitable. Even if they were just over 3,000 years old, or even a little younger, Yang Podi would choose them as the 3rd soul ring. Chapter 50 The 3rd Soul Ring. After guarding the creek for 2 days, the 2 left the creek, thinking to look for it somewhere else. They probably wouldn't find any good soul beasts nearby, so they would come back if they couldn't find any. But it just so happened that they actually found a very good soul beast just after leaving for half a day. When the 2 passed by a forest, A lot of soul beast bees emerged from the forest. Although they were not big, they were the size of eggs. There were so many of them that they covered the sky and the earth. Yang Zhenshin pulled his son away quickly. Yang Podi seemed to be a little scared. Dad, those seemed to be sunset bees just now. How come there are so many of them? Yes, those were sunset bees just now. This is a soul beast unique to the sunset forest, and it is also a kind that agile soul masters prefer. Yang Podi thought for a moment. Dad, I think something is wrong. Why were there so many sunset bees just now? And they all seem to be moving in the same direction, as if they were fighting an enemy or something. It's indeed a bit wrong. Could it be that some soul beast dares to steal the honey of the sunset bees? That's too bold. You know, the sunset bee is one of the overlords of the sunset forest, and it is famous for its large number. Dad, why don't we go and take a look? The soul beast that can provoke the sunset bee may not be simple. After thinking for a moment, Yang Zhenshin took Yang Podi and the others to the direction where the sunset bee flew, and it turned out to be a quagmire. Countless sunset bees flew back and forth on the surface of the quagmire. It was not until half a day later that the sunset bee seemed to give up and gradually left. A few hours later, a bear actually crawled out of the mud. It seemed a little clumsy, but it was indeed quite intimidating. The bear actually rolled on the grass for a few times, and the mud on its body disappeared a lot. It seemed to have a high IQ. Then it ran to the nearby stream and jumped directly into the stream, wanting to take a bath in the stream and wash off the mud on its body. But I don't know if it was too unlucky, but suddenly there was a roar of a bear, as if it was bitten by something in the water. Then, the stupid bear struggled desperately, and the whole stream was filled with blood red. The bear seemed to have finally climbed ashore desperately, but the soul beast that injured it actually chased it to the shore. After the bear was washed clean, its true appearance was revealed. It turned out to be a 10,000-year-old earth demon bear. This kind of earth demon bear is very powerful and its strength is even more amazing. There is basically no soul beast among the 10,000-year-old soul beasts that can match it. It is considered a tyrant. No wonder it dared to provoke the sunset bee. But the soul beast that attacked him seemed even more terrifying. It was a golden crocodile that walked out of the stream. It was covered with thick golden armor all over its body. The crocodile was more than 10 meters long, and its tail was especially terrifying. It was like a mace, but the tip was very sharp. Yang Zhenshin and Yang Podi spoke at the same time. Golden crocodile. Yang Zhenshin took a closer look. No, this is not a golden crocodile. This is a golden crocodile king. Yang Podi quickly said, Dad, how old is this golden crocodile king? Looking at the length of this golden crocodile king and the condition of its teeth, it should be between 300,500 and 4,000 years old. This is the golden crocodile king. I want it to be my third soul ring. At this time on the battlefield, after only a few rounds, the earth demon bear was already seriously injured, and one of its arms had even been bitten off. However, the earth demon bear's claws scratched the golden crocodile king with all its strength, leaving only a shallow mark, without even bleeding. Yang Zhenshin quickly summoned his soul-breaking spear and 8 soul rings. The soul rings flashed and flew quickly to the battlefield. He struck the golden crocodile king in the mouth, leaving a wound on the golden crocodile king. But the golden crocodile king seemed extremely fierce. He bit the soul-breaking spear directly, making it unable to move forward. Then, the huge crocodile tail quickly struck Yang Zhenshin, trying to force Yang Zhenshin to retreat. At this time, Yang Zhenshin was already a high-level soul Douluo. How could he be repelled by this blow? He directly pulled out the soul-breaking spear and stabbed the golden crocodile king's tail. There was a sharp sound of metal clashing, and a huge wound appeared on the golden crocodile king's tail. Yang Zhenshin's soul ring flashed again. This time, the soul-breaking spear stabbed the golden crocodile king directly. A big hole appeared on the golden crocodile king's body again, and blood flowed directly from the wound. The golden crocodile king seemed to be in pain and turned around to escape to the stream. But Yang Zhenshin would never let him leave. This time he directly activated his 6th soul skill. A black soul ring flashed, and the soul-breaking spear quickly pierced the golden crocodile king, nailing the golden crocodile king to the ground, with his entire body pierced. After being hit hard continuously, the golden crocodile king was obviously dead. He lay on the ground and continued to wriggle, as if he was unwilling to give up. However, the earth demon bear had already taken the opportunity to run away, leaving a bare arm on the ground. Perhaps it was a stupid bear with stupid luck. Son, come and kill this golden crocodile king. Hearing this, Yang Podi also quickly ran to his father. "Dad, with this kind of attack, this golden crocodile king won't die so quickly, right? How is that possible? This golden crocodile king has a strong vitality. You should kill it quickly." Yang Podi stabbed the golden crocodile king's eye with his soul-breaking spear, and pierced it directly. Seeing that the golden crocodile king just continued to swing, and was not dead after one blow, he had to use the soul-breaking spear to stab the other eye again. The golden crocodile king slowly stopped swinging, and a purple soul ring appeared above the corpse. Yang Podi sat beside the golden crocodile king's corpse, summoned the soul-breaking spear with his right hand, and attracted the purple soul ring, which began to fly towards him. As the soul ring flew towards his body, a huge force seemed to come from the soul ring, and the soul power in the whole body seemed to begin to riot, as if in a sea of fire, which was countless times more painful than the first time Yang Podi absorbed the soul ring. Gradually, a purple soul ring appeared on the spear, like a bracelet. But the pain seemed to have just begun. The whole body, right hand, or even the whole body, seemed to be in magma, and every cell and every soul was being tempered. At this time, in his mind, it was like being in a sea of fire. As if there was a giant holding a spear, facing the world unyieldingly. After 6 hours, Yang Podi's body gradually regained its calm, and the soul power in his body gradually stabilized after a surge. At this time, the giant in his mind seemed to have a hint of silver and a hint of gold, and the soul-breaking spear was heavier, and the tip of the spear was sharper, like a peerless divine weapon. So far, Yang Podi successfully absorbed the third soul ring of the 4,000-year-old golden crocodile king, and the soul ring has great benefits, not just a powerful soul skill. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.